We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's a lot. Didn't expect it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Kind of want to figure this song out a little bit. It's been forever since I played this song. Give a tip. Wow, Ornax and Rose actually don't come in here first. Well, they probably are. They just haven't said anything. I was just over on Phoebe's stream, and just playing some tunes and shit like that, and honestly, it kind of got me in the mood. Oh yeah, well, okay, here he is. Yeah, and now I got mine. I'm just like, well, I can play stuff now. Now it got me in the mood. That's not turning up. That is. It's actually kind of an easy song, but oh Jesus fuck! Okay, that's a little louder. God damn! That was way louder than what I was just listening to. Jesus Christ! Fucking. Doc of the Onion Wars MC, the Onion Wars, huh? Oh yeah, I think you know what we're talking about. It's quite a timeline, isn't it? It sure it is, isn't it? I like to agree and say yeah. I don't know what that means. It's just a wave. It's a hello. Or maybe like turn the volume of the song up or something. I don't know what that was meant to signify. TBH. So that was the only one I was doing. Because I'm not going to spend my whole time playing around with the bass. It's not much, things I could do with the bass, at least, when it comes to just kind of like maybe even kind of creating some stuff. Onion needs to force Jones to report their news. That's not going to happen. Alex Jones is just going to basically start up a new business and a new entertainment fucking show. Because let's be honest, it's not news. And he's going to call it like, the Phoenix Guard and, news organization or some shit. He's going to be like, this is it. He's going to call it like, guerrilla radio or some shit. Or, you know what I mean? He's going to call it like something like that. But think of the hilarity if they did. I mean, if you think about it, they probably could. Okay, you know what? Let's try to add some butane, see if this helps the situation. me that butane in my face. Man, fuck that butane. Just instant combustion when I do that. All the butane in the air and just I just incinerate. Like if they promised him to reduce $1 billion judgment, I bet he would. Like that'll ever happen. Mom, yeah. Dude, honestly, like, what are the odds that Alex Jones could potentially be in Trump's administration? Secretary of Interior? No, press secretary. Dude, what if Alex Jones was the press secretary, bro? Dude, tell me you would not tune in to that shit. Would you not tune in to Alex Jones being the press secretary? You goddamn media deep state, rah! Like, dude, come on. You cannot tell me you would want the fuck out of that, dude. If we're gonna have some bullshit, I mean, give us a little circus. I need it, dude. We need it. If we're gonna, we can't have Marco Bot. You would piss off Trump pretty quickly. No, they like each other. Trump has called in on Alex Jones' show quite a few times over the years. Like, they're buddies. I was going to say some crazy Trump kid question about it. Do you really think that Trump is going to give an iota of a fuck about what Alex Jones says? Dude, Trump himself says crazy shit. When he's questioned about it, if he really is ever, like, he just pretty much says other crazy shit and just, like, gets scallops of crazy shit. Like, I mean, come on now. And honestly, you know what? If it creates the infighting, then fuck yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. Because frankly, you know, he wasn't really happy when J.D. Vance spoke for him. Because you have to bend the knee to the dawn at the end of the day. And if you kind of disrupt that in any way, shape, or form, including not giving your fucking, you know, licking of the boot publicly on TV and shit too, then yeah. It's going to absolutely gut the FDA and the CDC. I mean, I'm not surprised. Honestly, like, I was listening to the Leftist Mafia earlier today at work, and Matt Bender, one of the hosts on the show, actually made like a kind of a good point where it's just like, I mean, you know, when it came to Trump's politics in his first term, you know, like he wasn't really, you know, outside of like the bad shit that happened with a typical Republican administration, task force, and a lot of other stuff. There was honestly like a lot of back and forth bullshit where he was constantly having to appoint different people. Like he initially had John Bolton at one point, then he got fired pretty shortly after. Sean, whatever his fucking face was, you know, like Sean Spicer, I think his name. Like, you know, I mean, if you actually kind of break down, you know, at least policy-wise, like his first term, it really isn't like super significantly different from like a typical Republican administration. And honestly, it's like, even with that, and plus with a lot of this infighting power grab shit, and plus just the fact that Trump could have, you know, could basically kind of get away with whatever the fuck he wants, essentially, but that also would, you know, be, you know, like kind of contradictory to what a lot of others, you know, within some party in his own ranks want. So it's like, because at least at that time, you know, he was, you know, we didn't have Jan 6, we didn't have all the shit where we know he could basically kind of get away with it. You know, so there is that factor, but that just depends on how effective they're going to be about the shit they want to do. And honestly, if you think about it, in hindsight, it seems like it just would have been better for him to just do 2 terms, not have this fucking bullshit with Biden or whatever for 4 years, and just kind of, you know, took the upper chin a little bit if you think about it. Because all this infighting stuff, the Republicans would be happening now, Trump would be done. You know, and Jan 6 would never have been a thing. None of this shit would have happened, right? I mean, if you think about it, honestly, in hindsight, it probably just would have been a stereotypical 2-term Republican administration outside of Trump just being the shitbag that he is, and of course, vigilante fuckwads and all that, yada yada. But it's just like, you know, because the political polarization has been growing, but the thing is, like, he would have been fucked, you know, especially the Republicans, you know, by this point. Like, the results literally would have been the opposite if you think about it. But hindsight's a bitch. Too bad Cat to Hindsight came in, obviously, in hindsight. Yeah, the House of Senate first time he won. He didn't get shit done. It was. It's better we had 4 years in between to help bring things back a bit. Well, did it though? Because now bring things back to accelerate basically back to where we were again 4 years ago, and maybe actually can generally be kind of worse. I don't think that did much. It would have been better, honestly. I mean, we've already beaten this dead horse. I don't want to get to that specific point, but better than nothing. I know. Again, hindsight's a bitch, so we're never gonna know, right? Though honestly, it's just basically kind of like what ifs, could have, should have, whatever, It's just one of those things where it's like, was it ultimately really fucking worth it to have Biden for 4 years, who was meant to not be a stopgap for Trump, but was meant to be like, get him out and done with him. And then we can kind of start getting things back, to what they should be and blah, 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 and get another Democrat, in line after me. And look what happened, the credibility about like what Dems have to do moving forward is kind of like slim to none, at least for me. So they got a lot of fucking work to do. 4 years of Trump. I'm sure a lot of people would say that. But I don't know. Honestly, for me in hindsight, because I've heard, people make different arguments about this, and honestly, I kind of get it, and I honestly kind of agree with some of that shit. Keep Repubs out of office. Sure. Though the credibility of the Republican Party in this hypothetical, obviously, if Trump had 2 terms, in a row instead, they would be kind of like in shambles, especially with Dems that, in a weird way, outperform in places like in the midterms. So they wouldn't really have much of a Senate or a House, for the second term, in whether, like during the 2020 election or the midterms. And especially if they want, continue to kind of do like, more of their degradation of various different rights and policies and shit, it just galvanizes voters, more so against them, like what we saw what happened with Roe v. Wade just before the midterms, back then in 2022. 4 years and I voted for it. Well, we're not necessarily talking about this election, we're talking about 2020. Like, at least with the hypothetical of Trump winning that instead. It's just one of those things where it's just like, hindsight's a bitch. Right now, the priority needs to be state and local, and, labor politics, too. Because honestly, you're not going to get a lot of these, like, blue-collar folks and shit that, they especially care about that type of stuff, first and foremost, regardless of whatever their views are on anything else. And, Dems especially and lefties need to really start kind of focusing on stuff like that. And in that, like, it should have, there should at least be a reservation about saying certain phrases or talking about, like, marks or something. But there is a way to talk about that stuff without necessarily saying the key words or whatever. Because really, it's not about, like, the label of it. It's about the actual idea of it. It would have been nice to have Trump gone for good in January instead of 4 more years of his ass. But we had Jan 6 and all this other shit. There's a lot of factors where it's like, if we want to break this down, like, is it though? Because now we have 4 more years of his ass no matter what. Where we would have been done with his ass in 2020 by now, and Dems probably would have heavily outperformed, this election cycle. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like in hindsight, he ain't going to do shit outside of the, probably just maintaining a lot of the, Republican framework shit. Probably would have botched the Afghan pullout if really have done that at all. So maybe the differences would probably still be there, but to most Americans outside of some Republicans be like, goddamn Biden funded it, even though it was Trump's idea in the first place, because whatever. Yeah, outside of like a little small niche crowd of those type of people, most people don't think about that shit. So it's like that really ultimately doesn't really change that much. Tax cut shit, continuation of corporations just kind of running amok like they're going to now for the next 4 years, especially if the gains that were made are now going to be gone and walked back, where there could have been, just the same gains and even probably even more radical attempts at other gains as well with, potential 4 years, moving forward. I mean, again, it's all hypothetical. Hindsight's a bitch, but it's just one of those things where, things, I think honestly, probably it just would have been better to just like potentially have that happen, but who fucking knows, right? What's up, city electing shitty mayors? San Francisco elected shitty mayor now, literally a billionaire. Because even in a lot of local areas, I mean, look at people like Ted Wheeler, for example, man. I mean, Democrats, underperform, for some reason in certain key areas, like, the big metropolis areas, like Eric Adams is another one. Like these fucking, a lot of these, Democrats in certain areas, especially in like deep blue cities, like tend to be very fucking conservative for some reason. And they always try to do this weird conservative pander, even though no Republican is ever going to like them because they think they're literally the source of all the problems. So they're going to say, fuck you, you goddamn lib cut commie, or whatever. They don't care. It's just, it's ridiculous. They make it so pretty much everyone has this venomous vitriol, towards, these type of Democrats because they think they have to try to do this weird big tent, like, compromise thing with, the Republicans, especially on a national level, to try to, like, appeal, to the nation to say, hey, we're a cool place. We're actually not lawless and full of chaos and crime. So then they butter up with cops. They butter up with fucking ICE if these big cities happen to be near the border, at least enough, within that 100-mile, fucking radius or whatever the fuck. It's just like they do this shit a lot. And, because of that, they just kind of chastise a lot of their voters and honestly just like disenfranchise them in a sense because none of them agree with this type of shit. And, people end up, looking for alternatives. And if there's nothing else, then yeah, change starts going to be the Republican. Portland bucked a trend by like someone clearly to the left of Wheeler, who's at least a Guardian considers progressive, but has yet to be seen because he's political unknown. Oh, I've tried mayors. Seattle? Damn, dude, that sucks. Didn't they used to have like a socialist mayor or like someone on the city council that's like literally part of the Socialist Party or something? I know Seattle at least had like one person somewhere in their like local government. Social City Council? Okay. I know they had someone who was literally like in a socialist party in Seattle. It's like one of the few like cities that actually have like overt like third parties that have some success. And funny enough, a socialist party. The mayors have only gotten worse. Plus they had a Trumper as city attorney. Oh god, ugh. Never estimate the power is stupid. Well, of course. And trying to shake the hand of someone who isn't there mentally capable of running a country, then the woman who replaced him in the running only gives vague promises, not a winning combination. Because people are sick of vague promises, they want results. And she was a part of the Biden administration, so she is at fault for not bringing results in. Like, oh, well, she was VP. Well, yeah, VPs are capable of getting some shit done. And she could have, like, used some leverage, especially being in the Democratic Party, used the leverage of her power, to, like, swing around a little bit. Be like, hey, let me throw my weight around. Just, like, basically say fuck Biden, essentially. So, I mean, because honestly, a lot of the Democratic Party isn't really happy with him. In fact, he kind of looked weirdly gleeful about like this whole transition process. It's like, I'm actually kind of happy I don't have to do shit anymore. But it's Trump, whatever. I did my job anyway. And it's like, no, you didn't, fuck. At least one of the key factors as to why he got elected. Because if it wasn't for COVID and the whole just pretty much anti-Trump vote thing that was going on during that time, he would have been clobbered. And the internal polling for him, too, was showing it. Like, basically, like, if he continued to run, you know, and the results were with him instead, it literally would have been Washington, California, and Oregon, and then, like, Maryland, New Hampshire, and I think that's about it. I literally think that's it. Every other fucking state would go red. And imagine how fucked that would have been. Like, we wouldn't have seen, like, a Republican landslide like that since fucking Reagan. So, I mean, fucking wild. New York and Illinois aren't going red. Look at the internal polling that was released about, you know, Biden and shit, dude. Yeah, they would have. New York was kind of a swing state of this election. Same Minnesota. These states are not known to be swing states. In this election cycle, they kind of were. They ultimately swung blue, but the fact that they kind of were swinging a little here and there ain't a good sign. 2020, Kyle, before COVID was right. Trump's going to say Biden has dementia, then he'll win by a landslide. And yeah, go by for a second. Well, it literally was, I was paying attention to that shit as it was going on throughout the day because work was slow as shit. And yeah, like when I was looking at the results, they literally like were at one point, they initially were blue, but then they flipped red for a while. Then they flipped back to blue. I think one state, I think it was Minnesota, and went back to red again a little bit, and then went back to blue, and then kind of stayed blue for the rest of the time. And same with New York, but it was just like, I mean, they were flipping around back and forth as, you know, the tallies got updated. I mean, you can't really, like, you know, argue with, like, the facts of when they were being tallied in, because that's what happened. It's quite literally what happened. Isn't it a swing state? NT, what you mean? NT, what, New York? What, NT or Minnesota? Which one are you saying there? You kind of fucked the acronym. Show mass by 15%. Okay, I'm talking about internal polling when it came to Biden. Like, I think you may have misheard me about some of this. Because I was talking about when it came to a lot of these states, you know, that I was mentioning, you know, they would have been landslides for Trump if Biden were to stay in the race. You might have overheard me or something. But that's what I was talking about. Maybe because at least with Harris, like, you know, there were different swing states. I mean, Illinois wasn't, and Massachusetts wasn't. I don't trust the polling at all. Well, when it came to the polling leading up to the election, it was actually pretty accurate. This is like one of the few times where polling actually, it was fairly accurate in a lot of these states. At least one of the few times. Kind of an exception to the rule. Doesn't it reflect electoral trends? Well, neither did the polls that Kyle were showing either, where it was showing that, you know, Kamala was going to win, you know, in like landslides in various different states, you know, to the point where she would have won, but it didn't happen. Not even the worst case scenario that, or worst case scenario that Kyle had, you know, for his prediction, you know, during election day happened. I mean, it's like, I mean, when it comes to a lot of different polling, like you said, I don't trust it. But when it comes to like the national average of shit, when it comes to conglomerate, like a lot of it was pretty like neck and neck in a lot of various different states, including ones, especially ones she lost, where it was predicted she would have won, like Pennsylvania. What in the fuck is he doing here? See if there's like a few other ones that I'm missing. I guess not. I'm all caught up. We have all gotten caught up. Actually, do all messages just in case, because YouTube's kind of dumb. Kyle's working backwards from his conclusion. Yeah, and honestly, it's like I've been kind of taking a break from it a little bit. And I'm honestly kind of a little what the fuck about him, because he was like, because he was kind of like pulling off like some weird transphobe shit. Being like, yeah, you know, if you're trans and you like basically vote for Trump, then it's okay to misgender. Because that's basically what he was saying when he retweeted this tweet of being like, yo, it's okay to misgender Caitlyn Jenner because she voted for Trump. And it's like, and he retweeted saying correct to that. So what does that say? That basically implies that it's okay to misgender someone just because they voted for Trump, basically. It's like, what the... It's like, dude, what in the fuck is up with him, bro? Like, he needs to, like, take some steps back and have some fucking self-reflection, dude. Because it's kind of, like, straight up, like, a little bit, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? How come our list of two evils shit doesn't apply to the primaries? Money, power, the DNC, the RNC, the corporate class, the shareholder class. I mean, that. I mean, if you want just the raw, blunt answer, that. And I mean, if you want the answer for when it comes to like voters, because a lot of the electoral, you know, will just like look at media or just look at, you know, some headlines or some random post they find on Facebook or one of their friends share about how like, oh, Bernie or so-and-so is a crazy commie or this and that and blah, 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 or whatever the fuck, you know, in the online space. Well, supposedly it is. Supposedly. But there's always a bunch of stupid online infighting and this and that. And this is why I just don't really consider the online space as like a serious space, really, to do this type of shit. Unless it's really kind of on this level, on this sphere. But if we're talking like Twitter, even like places like Threads, Instagram, and shit like that, man, fuck that. I mean, even Facebook, I guess, you know, honestly has a little bit more, you know, value than that. Just on the virtue because, like, you got friends and family you could be following and blah, 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 and this and that. And you could kind of also, like, you know, message him one-on-one, be like, hey, I saw your post about this. I didn't want to, like, have a argument, you know, on, you know, the comment section, but I was just kind of curious about your takes and this and that, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's at least, like, a level where you can kind of still do a little one-on-one there. But, I mean, beyond, like, you know, some of these exceptions, just, I mean, it don't mean shit. Like, that's a very small minutia of fucking people that are, like, heavily invested and obsessed with this type of shit. And it's like, and also, it's social media. Like, it's not just people from the U.S. that are using that shit. So, even if there are, like, let's say a larger demographic of, like, right-wingers on a platform, that doesn't mean every single one of them is an American. You know what I mean? A lot of them are probably, like, you know, from India or Canada or fucking Europe and, like, the UK or something. You know, it's like, I mean, they're going to be from all over the place because, I mean, a lot of these ideas and ideologies and how people feel about how America should go one way or the other, some of these people in elsewhere part of the world, you know, that partially pay attention to our shit, because as goes America, so goes the world, basically. You know, so some of them, including right-wing freakos, you know, pay attention to shit. And they talk and comment and post shit a lot. So, I mean, the online side of things is not as, like, I mean, honestly, arguably, it's not as viable as people, I think, you know, try to crack it out to be. It's not like to say there isn't, though. I mean, there's ways to where, like, you know, I found, like, you know, different, like, Twitter posts or something on time where it's like, hey, here's, like, you know, step-by-step thing on how to do, like, a little basic garden or something. Or here's how to do some cool radical art that you can, you know, post around the town or whatever the fuck, you know, or here's like a, you know, simple way to do some busking if you want to do that. Well, you know, just random shit like that, you know? So, I mean, there's like some value into like, you know, having these spaces, obviously, but like when it comes to like the back and forth about like, you know, policy, philosophy and different ideas and shit like that, it just starts going out the window when you are basically doing it via like Twitter posts. Especially when like most of it's just going to be weird people just wanting to troll you and fucking use the power of anonymity to just like, not give a fuck, basically. And also, that's another thing. How do you even fucking know a lot of these people even believe the shit that they even say or advocate for on their posts of shit? Yeah, someone might, you might see some Nazi account, but could that just be some dipshit troll that doesn't believe in that shit, but it's just doing it because lol? I mean, some people are just weird like that, Like they just got literally nothing going on. Could probably go a fuck about politics, but it's like a history nerd, so knows about like the Nazis or whatever or something, But don't give a fuck about politically one way or the other beyond that. It'll just be probably just some little troll because they just got literally nothing going on, in their life and just do shit like that. And maybe a lot of them probably end up genuinely believing that shit, but, a good chunk of them, I bet if you really try to, like, break it down and give them a truth serum, they'd be like, no, not really. I don't actually really know what I believe, because I got nothing going on. That's really what you're going to hear when you actually give them truth serum. How did Tumblr end up being one of the sane spaces online? I don't fucking know. Honestly, I don't know. People who are mean to me online would be the shittiest villain origin story ever. Dude, do you realize how many fucking people use that as like some weird origin story? Dude. Bruh. Google Plus, right? You know how that was the thing back in the day? There was this dude, shit you not, got butthurt because he was like this weird anti-weed guy. And he dead ass would follow me around because this is like right when I started doing weed tubing too. So, just when I started kind of using my channel more actively and stuff. And then, from there, like, he was just saying the stereotypical shit. It's like, the devil's lettuce, like, it will fry your brain out, man, this, snap, blah, blah, blah. And because we were all in this, like, adjacent group of some sort, back when Google Plus was the thing, like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm really aging myself right now. Wow, the fact I'm saying that for that is also really sad, but okay, anyway. But, like, and I decided, like, in the poll, because you could do polls there too at the time. It was basically just it was like a Facebook, but it was just Google basically. So like, I did a poll on the group thing and I was like, hey, like, what's actual people's like general, thoughts on the weed or whatever? Yes, it should be legalized. No, it shouldn't. It's kind of mixed / medical, legal only or something, something like that. And the dude popped the fuck off in the comment section of that poll. Be like, oh, so you think it's funny that, because I'm, trying to, like, show you the way or whatever and, like, show you the light of how weed's bad, you're doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I just literally replied to him in a DM, like, dude, you need to chill the fuck out. I'm also doing this because I'm trolling you now because you're, like, obsessed with me and having some villain arc because we disagreed one time, bro. Now I'm just fucking with you because I just think it's funny. Like, dude, if you want me to stop, then you stop. Like, I was just, because at a certain point, I was just trolling him. And obviously, it got under his skin. So I just, like, caught a whiff of that. And I was like, oh, this is easy to prod him. All right, well, I'm just going to be a troll. And after I just, like, straight up was real with him, and the DMs just being serious without being a troll, I was like, the only reason why I'm doing it is just, yes, I am trolling you. And if you don't want this to happen, with me trolling you like this because I find this a little amusing, then just go away, block me, do literally anything else but just annoy me because I'm going to annoy you by trolling you and at least get some amusement out of it. I want at least something, of value that I could take from this. And fucked off after that. I don't even think the dude said anything. I think after he said just block me or something, he just did. So I don't even remember. But... or maybe I blocked him. I don't even fucking remember, honestly. It was so long ago. But it's just like, bro, like a villain arc story over me literally disagreeing with him on weed. And this is like right when I was just like getting into that, like, kind of scene at that point. Well, yeah, guess what? It's devil's lettuce, that's right. I'm the anti-weed Christian YouTuber. Well, the funny thing is, I don't even think it was Christian. He was just one of these weird, like, super straight edge, like, all drugs are bad for you kind of dudes. I don't even know, bro. Like, at least I don't remember him being Christian. Maybe it was, but it never got brought up. At least as far as I remember from the whole ordeal, like, that never ever was brought up. So either he wasn't religious or not a Christian, or he was, but it just didn't get brought up. I mean, he was just using the stereotypical, like, anti-weed, anti-drug bullshit tropes and stuff, yada yada. So, I mean, honestly, there wasn't really much of a religious tint to his weird shit. Might have been taken over a decade. I might be living in a home shelter now, but finally I'm ready to take my revenge on you. Well, I don't hold a grudge on the guy. If anything, like I said, you know, it's just like, I just kind of found amusement trolling the dude, so whatever. I mean, I hope he's doing well now, and maybe he's just kind of lightened the fuck up and chilled out. Because that was like a decade or so ago, at least. Again, it was like at the peak of Google Plus, so it wasn't even when it shut down, which was like around 2015. This had to been like maybe 2010, 2011, maybe even 2012. Like, definitely over a decade ago. Jesus fucking Christ. It's I'm starting to really realize I'm getting dated. But all I know is I'm aging like a fine wine. At least from what I could tell, a lot of chicks at the bar, especially older ones, really like me a lot. So, well, I don't fucking know. Not even trying to flex, but I'm not even lying though. You know what I mean? Those karaoke streams, every now and then I'll have like some random chicks. A lot of the same ones that'll just pop over and say what's up. So, I don't know. I kind of figure maybe it's just because I'm like just a really laid back, super chill, like, you know, friendly face, and, you know, obviously I'm not going to be doing anything and shit. Like, there's like, I think that, because especially in a bar setting, every now and then you might get a weirdo and a creepo. And there's always kind of this sense of, especially like, you know, for women, or just for like people in the dating sphere in general, but especially women, like, they kind of need to like mind the P's and Q's a little bit about, like, you know, someone that might try to, like, you know, like mess with them or something, or harass them, or, you know, do like weird ass date rape shit or whatever the fuck. I mean, luckily I haven't seen that at the bar, but I've heard of different instances of this happening before. And honestly, like the most recent thing I could think of was not super long ago, but I think honestly it seemed like it might have been a misunderstanding, at least from my view, because a woman thought that some guy, you know, touched her ass, and from what it looked like, the dude was just kind of walking by and just kind of like, you know, just like walking, and I think his hand accidentally grazed her. Which, you know, honestly, I've accidentally grazed people, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I, you know, was paying attention, you know, and some people be like, huh? And, you know, they'll kind of look over and be like, oh, my bad, you know, wasn't paying attention or whatever, and you should, like, kind of shrug off and just whatever. Because obviously, you know, especially in the bar setting, I kind of try to be a little bit more privy about that, because, you know, if I'm just, like, having my hands by my side or whatever, you know, obviously they might accidentally touch somebody. It's also like at concerts too, and I actually heard a funny conversation between this obviously they were friends because they weren't dating from what it looks like, but it was like this dude and might have been siblings, maybe, I don't know. But it's like this dude and this chick, and they're having this funny convo, being like, you know, and the chick was saying, I need to like have my hands up here because I don't want to accidentally touch someone's ass and feel like I'm sexually harassing somebody. And I couldn't help but laugh at that. I was like, you know, I'm the same way. That's why I'm always like this. And if I ever do, I'm like super like slithering my hand down to my pocket to grab my phone and shit. Like, you know, I don't want to accidentally, you know, touch someone and get the wrong idea or whatever. You know what I mean? Because there have been times where people have like moshed so hard and are like on the edge of the pit and someone gets hurt. But, a little bit, and they look at me and being like, "Hey, can you be careful?" And I'm like, "That wasn't me. That was that guy who's in that pit. He just slammed into you a little bit, or like fucking, had his fists and accidentally got you in the back. Yeah, I'm just sitting here just doing my thing. I hope you're okay." I mean, and I even ask, I mean, "Are you all right?" I mean, and they were like, "Yeah, but okay. So it's not you or whatever." You ever had to deal with pickpockets? Not in my experience. And also, from what I can tell, that's not a problem here. At least from what I can understand, because I haven't, seen that before around here, or I've heard of it. I mean, I've heard people having their shit snagged, like if you leave, like, something on a table, like at a bar, and someone sees and snacks. I've heard shit like that before, but, like at the bar that I go to, like outside, maybe someone accidentally snagging somebody's charger, which I've done that before. That's happened to me. That happens sometimes, but beyond something like that, I've never heard like anyone like doing a full on like pickpocket or some shit. Not often, or not even really commonly. It's not. I mean, I want to say it's uncommon, but it's not common either. It's kind of like so. Just kind of depends on which area you go to. But I've also heard about people having their shit snagged. If they happen to be not paying attention. But at the same time, usually a lot of bars and a lot of places are really good about keeping shit in check about that. Especially, because, a lot of places, especially in downtown, there's bouncers outside because you kind of need that, and, so all in all, like that never really happens unless you're like sitting outside and some homeless person happens to like swipe or whatever. That's usually when that shit happens. If you're inside an establishment, especially like Portland, you're fine. You're going to be okay. Worst case scenario, if you're charging your phone and you unplug your phone and go to the bathroom and someone's like, "All right, let me grab my charger," because it happens to be next to theirs or something, and they grab yours, and oh well, I guess it's a community charger now. Your charger is my charger, and my charger is yours. Charger exchange. Sometimes though, that's actually kind of a plus, because I've actually had my charger jacked before, but the person's charger that's right next to it will still be there, and it's actually a way better charger than mine. I'm just like, nice. They're just going to think theirs is going out or something and get a replacement. Mine's good. So sometimes there's actually a little weird good luck with that. It just depends how good their charger is, if that ever happens. Or if it's even there and they just happen to have it, but they forgot they grabbed it, and that is exceptionally shitty, because then you still have to get a new charger. It's like, damn. Honestly, that's really the worst thing that's ever happened. It's just like people sometimes, will like find a charge port, charge their phone, will unplug it, and before they leave, and you're kind of in the same position, they grab yours and you accidentally grab theirs, but it's, most of the time it's, not really a big deal. Unless the charger doesn't fit the phone. Then that sucks for both parties. That sucks for both people. Where you're just like, damn. That's the worst roll of the dice. Dude, this song goes so fucking hard, though. So did you see what I was writing about in Phoebe's chat? A little bit. Getting fucking nose here. I don't think I saw everything. But I at least saw, like, a little bit about, like, the Jesus Source story about helping with the water issue a little bit. Honestly, at a certain point, I was just kind of vibing for tunes, and I just, like I said, I had my bass when I started my stream. I was kind of playing along for a little bit. There's that Scottish song that she was doing. I was trying to figure out the progression for it, because I found the root note, but I just couldn't figure out the progression of it. I was just like, okay, this one's a little tricky, but I was able to figure out everything else. Her and I need to, like, do like a dual stream on YouTube one of these days, because I got some cool shit to show her, and I wonder if there'd be a way to maybe like jam together somehow like that, if that's possible, unless there's a delay. If there's a delay, that might not make it possible, but I can at least show off some shit. She can show off some shit. Stuff like that. But that's not entirely accurate. The tale is an attempt to paint Yahweh in a more sympathetic light. Oh, Yahweh, like God? Well, I mean, I guess in a way, the New Testament is supposed to kind of do that. Hence, bringing Jesus, down from the earth, so to speak, and all that shit. I mean, because the Old Testament, Yahweh, and even in Talmud of Judea, because they're technically the same God. It's just that Jews just don't believe that, Jesus. And, the New Testament is, truth or whatever the fuck. It's just whatever. I don't care. But either way, you get the point. Like, I mean, that God is like very vindictive, barbaric, savage, and very ruthless and very cutthroat and brutal. So I mean, in a sense, like there is kind of kind of an idea about trying to at least for the time when it was written, to try to kind of paint God more sympathetically. And I think a lot of that was just try to kind of like help, paint more converts over and shit. It's just a way to help, kind of convert more of the populace, because like if you had a very vengeful, vindictive person to be like, I'm going to kill you all if you don't commit it, kind of shit, then it's like, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, you could be like, well, this is how he was, but he sent Jesus, and but that's still God trying to save everyone from suffering he created to begin with. Well, yeah. Luckily, I may have an angle which you can kind of see where he's coming from. I'd be kind of curious. Because honestly, like, I ain't no damn Christian, obviously, but I mean, I could kind of, at least with more benevolent, like, Christians and shit, especially that kind of follow more of the idea of Christ, I could kind of see the, the philosophical idea about like God, at least as an entity and a character, being kind of recognizing that, like, yeah, my brutal, ways are, what kind of have almost like how humanity acts is almost kind of how I am with my vindictiveness and my envy, not even envy, but like, jealousy and, and spite, it's like, it's one, I think it's one of the 7 deadly sins. So what is it? It's like, because you have sloth, greed. It kind of has to do with anger. I forgot which one it is, but I think it's actually one of the 7 deadly sins, where it's like, I could kind of see the idea. It's never really explored, obviously, in the Bible or anything, but it'd be kind of interesting if there are Christians that might be, that might kind of believe this or see this, where it's just like, God kind of recognizes internally that's like, hey, what I'm doing is actually a little fucked up. And my son, like, I could, send myself for him, to kind of, deal the torture that I have given, to my own, to my own creation, basically. Because if you think about it, like, especially with something like the Passion of Christ or whatever the fuck, and the story of Jesus when, he was put on the cross, like, he was mutilated, tortured, and vindictively and savagely brutalized, and for all intents and purposes, basically emaciated, mutilated, and starved and shit. So it's like, and that's what God has done, in a lot of ways, when it comes to the various different things in the Old Testament. It's flooded the earth, caused mass suffering, and has drowned, endless amounts of life on the planet, has, caused a mass, death, when it comes to Sodom and Gomorrah, turned, some of, at least Lot's wife into a pillar of salt, amongst others, all this, the list goes on, and it's just like, I guess if like I were to be a Christian, my justification, so to speak, at least in this case, would be, well, he recognized that he kind of fucked up, basically, and he's using this as a way as Jesus is, as his son is as a character as well, to repent not just for humanity's sins, but maybe even for God's himself. Because at least, especially, when it comes to the idea of like the Holy Trinity, I mean, there's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and they're all technically intertwined into one, right? So that means that God and his Son and also the Holy Spirit are all technically the same thing, at least to a certain degree. So God's kind of feeling and facing and kind of going through his own repercussions of sins and shit, against humanity. I mean, hey, hell, hold yourself by your own standard kind of thing. Actually, I know a lot of Christians in my family. I'm actually be kind of curious to maybe talk to them about that. It'd be like, hey, what do you think about that? Because, I mean, people like me, are kind of reason why I'm turned off from it is because of a lot of savagery, brutality. Like, is there a way for you to open me up a little bit to it? Not that I'm not open to it necessarily. Oh, it's not like I'd ever be a Christian anytime soon. I mean, there ain't no way. But can there at least be, something that maybe even to like, that I can use as something to maybe like, let, other Christians understand their own faith a little bit? You know what I mean? Because a lot of them don't practice what they preach, or they don't follow the word of Christ. They just don't. I mean, there's a lot of fucking things in that damn Bible, especially when it comes to Jesus himself, when it comes to what he said and preached, that are just the total opposite of what, a lot of Christians supposedly, worship out of him. It's like what Mahatma Gandhi said. I like your Christ, but I don't like the Christians who follow your Christ. And you know what? Hey, I agree. Funny enough, there's a lot of things about Gandhi that aren't exactly kind of based, but that's one of the few things that totally are. The reason why I say that, because he was actually kind of weirdly chilling with Hitler a little bit. He had a few fond letters sent to him at one point, and it's just like, what? I was like, what the fuck? So, not the best, but a right clock could be broken every now and then sometimes, and it just needs to be fixed a little bit, a little tweaked. I'll show the underage girls thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, I honestly forgot about that. Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, there's that. I completely forgot about that. Oof. Man, why did he have to be like a socialist and also like a hardcore pacifist that was an anti-colonialist, like liberator of oppression and shit, but also at the same time like a fucking nut when it came to various different things? I like how it was anti-colonialist and against like imperialism, but yes, like was kind of okay with the Nazis a little bit, and also like make that make sense. But yeah, I was about to read that too. Yeah. You want me to give you the summary and perspective I want to go for? Would be heavily spoiling it. Well, I guess, I'll be alright with the spoils. I mean, because a lot of it I probably would be tangentially familiar with anyway, because, I was raised Christian anyway, being born into that kind of household and shit, so. Weirdly enough, I probably may or may not have, thought about these things before. I mean, who knows? I mean, there is an odd chance. Well, this is my story's reasons for God's actions. Well, again, weirdly enough, I might have thought about it before. So, maybe it's something you might say might actually be kind of tangential to what in the past, might have thought about. Because, in a weird way, especially when I was kind of like struggling, growing up, especially during middle school when it came to being Christian or not, or whatever. Like, I always was like, one of my big things, like, why is God basically letting this shit happen? Like, when it comes to, like, bullying stuff. I mean, middle school's, like, really when I was like, is this God shit even a fucking thing? Because, like, why would this, it's like, because what the fuck? So it was one of those things where I was just like, started to make me really question a lot of shit. So chances are, probably might have a thought on it. Actually, while I know you're probably topping out right now, I'm going to take a little whiz break real quick. A good opportunity. Because I've been kind of feeling the bladder build up a little bit. Might as well get it out of the way now so I don't have to worry about it. Sweet little bean. Just gonna be a sweet little bean. Got to start somewhere. I have 5 numbered bullet points, so brace yourself. Oh, damn, I was hoping at least some of that would already have gotten through. Damn. Shit, he's cooking. Dude, he's cooking some shit right now. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yo, speaking of cooking, though, before I read that, I got some tendies, some Parmesan, and I got this bad bitch with some spaghetti. Dude, we're about to cook, bro. Not now, obviously, but, whenever I'm, like, done with this, which is not going to be anytime soon. But, bro, like, once this is over, I'm about to, like, fucking... I don't even know how to describe it. It's just going to be dank. That's all that needs to be said. It's going to be dank. All right, so let's read this. Okay, so number one. There are beings far older than the universe that are hostile that God has been spending trillions of years trying to keep at bay. Whoa. I was not ready for that, actually. Well, that's right off the bat, whoa. These beings are able to influence humanity and make them do harm to themselves and others. So I guess this would be kind of a variation of like demons, possession, and stuff like that. Battle of the Heaven was a ruse orchestrated by Lucifer and God to fool those beings to create a space in which those beings would go. The torture and hell acts as a sort of purification, remove the influence of these beings. The ultimate plan is to use Jesus, who is immune to them due to being miracle born, to lead an army of purified warriors to finally end these things once for all. How much for you to eat that entire jar of pasta on stream with a spoon? I'm actually thinking about this. You know what? I'll be a little cheapo for this one. $300. Cheapo, 300. And that could be collectively raised. I mean, I want to be able to have my pasta like, well, I could, because I actually bought some other stuff for the future. Let me show. I got some Campbell's cream of bacon, chicken gumbo. Got some chicken gumbo too. I'm thinking maybe kind of mixing these together in like a lot of pasta and just like letting that be like my bitch for like a few days. But that's after I make, you know. Well, I'm not going to use this whole jar, but at least like a third of it or something. Because I like my pasta sauce. It's kind of a liquidy sauce, though. I mean, if you look inside, it's like a little extra, like, fluidy. It's got a little extra fluidness going on. You know, and I'm just like, I don't know about that. So, the Parmigiano Reggiano, this bad boy is going to help thicken that bitch. So, and I needed to get some more anyway, so fuck yeah, bro. It's going to be dark. I don't know why, but I've been on a fucking spaghetti like pasta kick lately. And I could tell because my shits are really red. Not because of blood, but because of the tomato sauce and everything. I can just tell, dude. I'm like, why is it red? Oh, well, yeah, I've been eating a lot of tomatoes, spaghetti-based fucking pasta. Oh yeah. I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because the first time I was like, what the fuck? And then I reminded myself, like, oh, wait, yeah. I've been eating a lot of this lately. I get on, like, some, like, kick on, like, some pasta or, like, some noodles and shit. Because, honestly, it's such an easy thing to make. It's so simple. It's like, because all you need, pasta, a sauce, and some meat, some veg, or just pasta and sauce. I mean, honestly, even that works. I mean, what do you think, you know, fettuccine alfredo is? It's just sauce and pasta. You know, it's like, sometimes it's all you need. So simple. Add a few seasons. Add some veg in there. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, easy peasy. Don't take long to make. You know, and all I have to do is just boil up some shit. Get the pasta in there. Boom. Let it absorb all the goodness and the fixins, and depending on what you're making. I actually learned this trick from some Italians on YouTube. And this actually enhances the flavor of sauces and different things like this. Shit you not. Take some of that pasta water, put it in a cup. You know, like dip your cup in the pasta water, you know, where your pasta's boiling before you dump the rest of it out. Put the cup in there. Adding pasta. Yes. Oh, yeah, you know. Yep, yeah, you know. And put that to the side. Dump the rest of it. And when you're making your sauce, or if you mix the sauce with the pasta stuff, just put that back in there. And, you know, and obviously if you're doing it like with the cans like I am, put the pasta sauce in there. Take like, you know, a fork or a spoon or something and just kind of stir it up a little bit so you can kind of get the excess, you know, and all that. And just, bloop, just pop it in there. Bruh. I shit you the fuck not. It's not much, but it does kind of add a little bit to it. Makes it more like, a little extra flavor. Another way of doing it is like, you know, instead of using a full-on strainer, use like, you know, one of those handheld strainers and just like, you know, strain it for that. and then after a while, just stop straining it when there's like a little bit of water left. That's another way to do it, but it's not as good because you're not really being able. You can't really like mix it with like some of the other sauces if you have it like in a can or even in a jar. If you have it like nothing left in the jar and you just pour it in there, close the lid, just shake it up a little bit so you get the excess and stuff. I mean, I just leave a little pasta water. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not as good because if you want to, like, let's say, let's say, I got like, a little bit left in this jar. I used the last of it, a little pasta water, but like you got a little excess on the edges and stuff. Just dump it in there, close the lid, shake it up a little bit, dump that last little bit in there. Now I got a little extra kick of the sauce and a little of that pasta water back in there. Boom. It's fire, dude. And also, I don't know what it is. YouTube just loves sending me cooking shorts. But dude, there's this guy from like Quebec, I think in Ontario. He has a restaurant called Vivaldi. And dude, he is like legit like the most like traditional. I don't give a fuck. I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of like the homie style, like, homie as in like kind of homemade style, professional, but I'll put some heart into it because fuck it, kind of like he has that mentality. And he even mentioned it once on one of the shorts that I watched not that long ago. Where it's like, it might not look, it looks like a little homemade cook and got a little slop, but it still got a little love, got a little heart. You wanna know why? Because we don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, because, I'm just like, damn. I'm just like, yep, that's some truth right there. Lars Ulrich on crack. JK. Lars Ulrich? I don't have short hair like Lars. Okay, you know what? The reason why is because my shit's in a ponytail, because actually I just forgot. Yeah, I'm not, I don't think I'm Lars Ulrich with this fucking mane. Let's like kind of poof it out. There we go. I'm leaving the top, tied up, but we're just poofing the rest of it out back there. Not mullet. Got this. I know you're probably about to say that. I might actually do that one day, but no. Now I don't look like Lars. Now I just look like a stereotypical stoner. Oh, damn, okay. Oh, damn, okay. Okay, all right. That was funny. All right, that was a good one. All right, that got me a good gut bucket laugh right there. It's like, oh, damn, okay, shit. Damn. Oh, come on, you piece of shit. Okay, I need to get a new torch at some point. Jesus fucking Christ. I like this. There needs to be a backup because Jesus Christ. Now it wants to work. This bitch wants to selectively work all the time. Man. I'm like half tempted to kind of like, do a little cook stream, but I'm not. One day I'll do that, but actually I did that once. If you look back on the channel, I think it was like a cooking with Ignar. I'm pretty sure it was a stream. If not, it had to have been a video I uploaded. No, I did it at least once. And it's me in my like chef coat that I got when I was doing a little bit of culinary schooling. And I'm just like, just kind of doing that. Just like, I'm stirring the pot up. So I know I've done it once. I just kind of forget like if it was a stream or if it was a video. All I know is whatever it was that I made at that time when I did do that was dank as fuck. Have you ever watched something you hate and in a moment go, why the fuck am I watching this? I guess in what context? Just anything, like a YouTube video, movie. TV show or something. Because honestly, like, there have been times where I have thought that for various different occasions, actually. There's been a few times where I'm just like watching like YouTube videos. I'm just like, why in the fuck am I watching this when this is boring and just honestly like whatever? Like, you know, even if it's like a channel that I do like, you know, sometimes I just won't watch everything because there are just some things I'm just not completely interested in when it comes to the content, and some things I am. Like, you know, like how Let's Go Secular Talk. Like, I won't watch every fucking video that he uploads, but you know, I'll bite, you know, with various videos that he uploads. But a lot of them, I kind of get the gist. You know, I could kind of get the gist just based off the title of his video alone. And more often than not, I hear what happens as a result from a lot of what happens, you know, with those videos that he does upload from other content creators. You know, so it's like, what's the point of like rehashing shit that I already know? If, you know, from like, you know, because I saw it from like, you know, Onion Nuggets or like the Human Support or whatever the fuck, you know, it's like, what's the point at that, right? You know, and then it'll be like, you know, sometimes it'll be like, you know, maybe like a true crime thing I'll watch, but then it'll just like not be as enticing as I think it is. And I'm just like, man, I'm going to watch like a few reels of shorts or something because fuck this or whatever, you know, like I'll think that sometimes. And after that, just find something else to watch. Goddamn 1,000-degree knife and hot drug press videos. Dude, those, I don't get those hydraulic press videos. It's like, you've seen one, you've seen them all, basically. You know what I mean? It's like, you know why? Because there are people with a crush fetish. Like, you know, getting crushed or getting squeezed and constricted. You know, which honestly, don't let these people own boa constrictors because I have a weird feeling that they would want to do weird things with them. Let them, like, twirl around them. They're like, oh, yes, I'm being constricted. Like, it's like, I have a weird feeling that these motherfuckers would do some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? So never let them have boa constrictors. Or anacondas as well, you know. Never let them own them as pets. I've lost so many hours to them. There's hope that something will stand the press. Are you into it? I'm not saying the crush fetish thing. I'm just saying for the just press videos, really. It's like, you know, man, for me when it comes to the cooking and survivalist videos and yeah, god damn it. I'm the same way, but at least with my shit, I feel like it's like, you know, informative. I learned maybe a survivalist little trick or something, maybe, potentially, and maybe I learned a cool little dish to make, or at least I see, you know, a dish I know how to make, but just done in a really cool professional way in a kitchen, so. Also inspires me to cook, because, you know, I like to whip some shit up in the kitchen. The one of these days we'll have to definitely do, like, on a day off, like a little mukbang with, like, you know, some food I've made, and show off the goods. Show off some of my goods. I've shown off a burrito not that long ago when it came to that warm-up. What I think for a concert that I was going to. Was it a concert or was it go before karaoke? I forgot. One of the two. I don't even fuck remember. Oh, it was for the karaoke because I had Friday off last week. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah, it was from last week. And dank as fuck, feeling shit. But it's like, man, I need to show off some of my goods. I need to show off, you know, something that I made. Brown type of cats and socks jump through the open window of the apartment. I've dubbed the latte. Aw, make it your pet. The latte, dude. Honestly, a cat like that I would name Latte. Or Mocha. And the full name would be Mocha Espresso. Man, I need to know the goddamn cat, bro. There needs to be a cleansing of the rodents, you know, around the neighborhood. And the neighborhood cats are not doing their fucking job. Can't finds. Oh, you're living in one of those places that are like, fuck you, you're not having pets. Dude, I hate places like that. Because their whole excuse like, well, people with like allergies and that. It's like, yeah, it's called they have their own apartment and they're not living in mine. So fuck off. Like, God, fuck, bro. Dude, I've even had some people even, weirdly. Oh my god! I just remembered, that one bitch that was like the girlfriend of that guy that got kicked out of Duffy's, where she was supposedly. I've never seen her like be having a reaction when it comes to a dog, but apparently was allergic to dogs. Honestly, I always questioned it because like I always thought that was just her way of being a Karen. Cause like, oh my god, dude, I'm man, knowing that dude Larry, like, when it came to like his girl being fucking weird, and the fact that like apparently he was also like homophobic and shit and calling people the F slur and shit, it's like, low key, kind of fuck him. I kind of wish that it wasn't that way, but man, goddamn, bro, some bullshit, but whatever. But it's just like, bruh, when you have when you have a business or a place or an establishment or a residency, like apartments, like especially if there's like separate units when it comes to like apartments in that scenario, unless it's like I mean outside of like apartments, because I really think it should just be okay for you to have pets even in an apartment setting and shit. I think it's bullshit that you can't because landlord says so. Fuck that. If I'm renting a place, they're a part of my family. I'm not going to just like abandon them or just like, fucking hope for the best at some other fucking place. It's like, fuck that. It's already hard enough to get a fucking house or rent it out or whatever. It's like, it's already bad enough as it is, so what the fuck? And also when it comes to businesses, like I'm about to say, it's like, unless it's overtly said, unless it's like, service slash most sport animals, like then yeah, they're not allowed. But at that point, then you got no room to bitch. It should just be expected at that rate. And zoo is at least a little emotional sport animal. And also, not just for myself, but I kind of do that for other people too, because like I've had people straight up come to me like, hey, I have kind of a bad day, and I think your dog's really cute. It's okay if I pet him. And I'll be like, hey, I mean, I have a little patch that says pet me unfriendly. At this point, it's literally splitting off, and I either need to glue it or just get a new one. But it's like, but I'll just mention that to people. They're like, oh, okay, and just give them loves. And Zukov is like, oh, you're my friend now, and just immediately just hangs out with them at this point. And it makes their night. And they're like, oh, thanks. That made my night. I feel a lot better. And I'm just like, fuck yeah. That's some good shit, and that's partly the reason why I bring them, because I know people want to pet them, and, and I know a lot of people like doggos, and, I like them, as well, and Zukov is the most friendliest little being in the world. I literally don't think there's an atomic particle of aggression or hostility in him, in his body. I literally don't think he would be capable of it, even if you try to get it out of him. Because literally enough, I've tried to like, get him riled up to the point where he'll like, be like, rawr, kind of like bite me or something. No, he's like, he just like squirms around and acts like a little weirdo. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, fight me, bite into my flesh and taste my blood. But no, he's like, he's just a goober, dude. Very smart, but he's just a goof. You expect us to believe you have pets despite this obvious scent of urine? I did that. Yeah. Zukov is a constant. He is. A constant ball of pacifistic, adorable, sweet bean. That's what he is. He's a bean. I went from calling him like, different forms of like bread to now calling him bean. Garbanzo bean, pinto bean, refried bean, coffee bean, strain bean. I went from like, various different things like croissant to bread loaf to, like burnt rye bread, shit like that. Like I've called them, I was calling them all that. Now I've just moved on to another nickname for food. Bean. I honestly don't even know why. I've done that with my little pets. Ain't the only one. But Sukov's the one that I've been kind of like consistent when it comes to like having like weird little nickname things based around food. I promise I'm not RFK. I would never do that unless it was literally me by myself starving in the woods and I killed a wolf with my bare hands and with rocks and sticks. Because at that point, I'd wear its pelt and just, use that as a token of my survival and grit and eat its flesh and cook it. Because at that point, I mean, low key though, especially during the winter when I got his pelt, his little head right up top here. And I'm like, got his paws tied right here, all that shit, wearing my jacket and all that stuff. Do you think people fuck me? Especially when I tell the tale of how that, I got that pelt? Nah, bro. Love that the harm he causes accidental. Distract him for a little 1 minute. Trucks are overturned. Trees are on fire and the hydrants are spewing water. He trots up to with a stick. For all the times he's legit snuck out, because he does that, man. If I have that door open and the gate is open, he will sneak the fuck out. He'll go down. Dude, oh my god. I swear he's expanding his territory, dude. Because I swear to fuck. He usually will go up here. Now he's going up here, which honestly kind of freaks me out a little bit. Because that's the intersection of the street. And it's like, I don't like that. That's no bueno. But the last time he snuck out, he was over here in my neighbor's yard. But a few times before that, I will see him over there and, near the intersection. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? I swear to God, if you, like, were in the middle of traffic, At least a few times I've seen him, he's usually, like, on the edge of the fence of where my neighbors are here, or checking out the neighbors over here with their yard and shit. Like, so, he's not, like, getting into the road, but as soon as I'm calling his name, he wants to get in the middle of the road and be like, huh? Oh, you calling me dad? It's like, what the fuck? Get out of the road, you fucking freak. But I want to be doing something extremely innocuous, like imagine wearing it while going to McDonald's to order. I mean, that's what I do. Dude, I've walked into some places wearing some wild drip, bro. Like, cause you know me, I like to flex every now and then if I'm feeling a little fancy. Like when I was wearing my East German, get up, and when it came to, that little Halloween, karaoke party thing that was going on. So every now and then I got some shit I could flex. Honestly, like, I got this, like, Viking helmet that I can, wear, but I have, like, nothing else to add to it. I need to get, like, some, like, Renaissance-esque shit. And also, like, a gambeson and a few other things. Like, I kind of need a few things to, like, flex that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so, and that's a whole investment in itself. But at least then I would have some shit for the Renaissance Fair and stuff like that, when it comes to Ren fairs that happen. By the way, those are fun as fuck. Those are so cool. You can find some really cool shit for sale and stuff like that out there when it comes to Ren fairs. Especially for like some really cool leatherworks and ironworks and stuff like that. Dude, it's like, bro. Shit, you can find some really cool artisan badass shit. Plus, at that point, you're kind of supporting local and regional artists. And that's never a bad thing. Oh, that felt good. Oh, damn. Ooh, that felt nice. Try some of this shit right now. Yeah, I just kind of realized what's kind of funny is that I thought my homeboy Logino was wanting to hang out later, but he's never hit me up or anything. Because he's going to be my ride tomorrow to the union office before I go to work to go and deal my little vote for the new contract and shit, which I'm actually pretty excited about. But I know one of my coworkers, one of his buddies, already went to one of the ones that were more closer to where I'm at, but just didn't have a chance to go to. Like you mentioned that when it comes to at least some of the different pay raise things, at least when it comes to like courtesy clerks, like the people that like will stock shit, gather cards, just kind of like the miscellaneous bullshit. From what I understand, they don't get a pay raise, but pretty much like everybody else does. Like all the other departments and literally everything else, everyone else does. And it's like, eh. For me, that's like a little bit of a yellow to a red flag thing for me, but I want to at least read what else is in there and actually kind of question them about that a little bit. Be like, so I overheard about that. Like, do they at least still get the same bennies as us if that's increased and this and that? Like, I got a couple questions now that I kind of overheard a couple things from the scuttlebutt. It's like, might be, a contract I don't know. I might vote no on just because, like, courtesies deserve to get a bump in pay just like we do. If anything, they're busting our ass more than a lot of us. Like, outside of, like, the deli department, like, I mean, they're busting our ass more than anyone else in that fucking store. Or any store, for that matter, really, if you think about it. Having to be out in the elements, collecting carts and shit. Fucking having stock things all the time. Sweeping the fucking, like, aisles and all this other bullshit. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, that shit kind of, like, and also having to, like, deal with back stock stuff, in the back. Especially for, like, more of, like, a closing or evening courtesy because of, like, the late night evening loads that come in and all that shit. It's like, they bust their fucking asses. I mean, so it's just one of those things where it's like, I just kind of find it a little bit like, what the fuck, a little bit. Like, hey, like, they should kind of deserve the same pay rate. And it's like, was that just like the compromise that was had? Because I'm not 100% too sure about that. But, I mean, I don't know. I have to read the rest of the contract and actually read it, with my eyes to actually, see if I actually want to vote yes on it, despite. But I don't know. That's one of those things I'll figure out. But while I'm there, at least, it's like I want to at least, ask about, hey, is there anything that maybe even if it's salary wise, like I could potentially get into union wise, to kind of get out of my job, but still be a part of the union and kind of work in that. Because I need it out. And honestly, I'll even take a sacrifice to just even do that, because I feel like, honestly, whatever I'm doing at that point, it would just be way more fucking, productive, at least especially for what I like to advocate for. And honestly, it's like, I even ask, like, hey, is there a way to run, or something for like a union election thing? Because, I mean, I would certainly like to, because I think we need some younger radical voices. Not too radical, obviously, because I know there needs to be compromise and balance with certain things. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But, at the end of the day, it's like we need to obviously, hyper focus on, like some really strong, impactful things, for future contracts moving forward for everybody, like, because especially in this next 4 years, we're going to be hurting a lot. And, so I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them for a while about some other shit, because I've been meaning to try to be a shop steward at my workplace, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it at this point, just on the virtue of, like, I kind of want to get out of it here pretty soon, and at least try to move forward, especially when it comes to union effort stuff. At least I'm going to test the waters about that. I suppose I'll at least try to go to the shop steward training and deal with that either way. just on the virtue of that, because our shop has not, or our workplace has not had a fucking shop steward for as long as I can remember. So might as well, at least, especially when it comes to this fucking pin right here, this little guy right there, at least might as well make it worth it. Actually means something instead of just like a cool little uni pin that I just have on there. Last time I met my uni rep, she noticed it. She's like, holy shit, that's like a really old pin. Like, is that like a... It's like, how old is that? And I was like, I think it's like from the 70s or something, but it's kind of part of the reason why I want to be a shop steward. It's like make it worth something on top of, I've researched about it, like, and something I can easily do. And I think, frankly, from what I hear from a scuttlebutt around this place, we kind of need one. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him a little bit because I still need to figure out some other shit, especially when it comes to like, journeyman stuff and a few other things. So it'll just be a really good opportunity to be able to talk with the rep and some of the higher ups in the union and kind of, maybe get some things worked out a little bit on that front. And also my friend Logan will be there. Like I'll invite him and be like, yo, come along with me, see how the process works and honestly, see what you're kind of missing out on. Like, whatever future job you get outside of Uber or Lyft, let's say that falls out for whatever fucking reason, it's like, hey, if you ever want to try to get in a job, make sure you find one that has what we got going on. I mean, because that is a very handy card indeed. Dennis Prager had a fall. If he dies, couple of the Onion buying InfoWars, it'll be like the universe is attempting to correct itself. Dude, if something happens to Dennis Prager, dude, Mitch McConnell, like, oh my, dude. Silver linings, man. I'm telling you, bro. The next 4 years aren't as bad. They're going to be bad, but they're not going to be as bad as people make it out to be, man. There's going to be shit that we could be like, the crab rave dance, dude. Be like, we're gonna be able to do some shit. Hey, we'll have our moments. We had those moments back when Trump was president, man. We can't forget the good times back then either. Know what I mean? Come on now. People forget the good times, when it comes to the midst of the bad. They forget the lights and the darkness. They forget, just like Kamala's fucking concession speech. You know what? Weird as it is to say, but it's like, look at the speckles of light and the darkness. It's like, come on, at least, I mean, not to like really undermine it with her quote, but you kind of get what I mean, though. It's like, there were some lights, every now and then in the midst of the shit. We can't deny the fucking, good moments that have happened. You know what I'm saying? Herman Cain passed. That's another one. I mean, like the Herman Cain Award, that meme came because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Dude, total side, but I was doing some research for my story. What I typed in Bing was, what did women do in the Bible? One of the suggest searches, what did women do in the Bible to destroy me? What did to destroy me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, sweet baby rays. Oh my god. She actually said that it's a fucking election between two corporate suits, not a battle of Sauron against Sauron. She said that in her concession speech. A platitude cliche in her concession speech after she lost. That's when she said that. We are the light, like the stars in the night sky. We are the light in the darkness, like the stars of the night sky, or some shit like that. I don't fucking know, dude. Literally some Tom Perez, Hillary Clinton, yee-ass platitude cliche bullshit, bro. Also, I found out there are apparently 6 different Marys in the Bible. So yeah, best written book ever though. Oh yeah, totally, 100%. That little emo boy. He does realize I do have some of those buns for him too. I got them big pop buns, got that lie. Something that Zuko can't deny. Got these buns for him. Come on, boy. You can get out of there. I know you want them buns. He wants my buns, bro. My dog wants my succulent, beautiful buns. Out of context, that sounds fucked. But at least with the clip, you can't deny it because these are buns. People who are blind are being like, people who are deaf are just like, oh, that's a good pork bun. Just copying the Harvey Dent speech from Dark Knight, but changing it, or changing it about so the teacher doesn't fail her. I guess the cuff don't want these buns. He don't want to come out because he's a little emo boy bitch. Wow. As if I was watching, must be very disappointed. Of course they are. As they should be. Because Zukov ain't having my bum buns. He's only having these buns. Just these buns. That's all. The only thing I will do with him is give him a little kiss on the nose and be like, you're such a sweet little boy. Oh. And give him like little screeches and little smooches on the face and stuff. Like, I'll do that because I'm like a little wine mom blonde bitch. You know, I'll do that with him. But, you know, beyond that, like, what the fuck, you know? It's like, hold up. It's like, hold up. It's like, we don't need none of that motion in there. Because that dog pill's about to finna make me black pilled. Tell you what. And honestly, low key though, what is it with blonde bitches that get dog pilled? Because I swear to God, every time I hear a story, like, because I have heard multiple anecdotal, you know, stories from the grapevine, and it's always a blonde. It's hard to say, but it's always a blonde. When it comes to getting dog pilled, because it'll be like the family dog though. And I will say a lot of it was when I was in high school. I heard a lot of these stories when I was in high school. But I still have heard a couple stories here and there. Not often, but here and there. Here's some scuttlebutt with like someone who knows somebody, who might know somebody. I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude, you want to know what's even wild? I've heard these scuttlebutt stories at church camp because I went to, you know, the Canby Foursquare Church that's in Canby, and that's already known for being like the Alabama, you know, like, hey, you know, it's like, hey, yo, step bro, your stepsister is stuck in the fucking, you know, dryer. Help me, step bro, ooh woo. But take the step out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Canby is known for that. And even at church camp, and even sometimes, you know, for the scuttlebutt from like other kids at like, you know, the church too, like during pastime or like while we're waiting for our parents to be done with their bullshit, with their sermons or whatever. We'll just like, you know, be hanging out, doing our own thing. Like the cool kids are chilling, doing their little circle. I was part of them. And like, we would just like, they would tell me some stories. I'd be like, what? I was like, there are straight up like, you know, like this, like 3 or 4 different like blonde chicks that have done that. And they're like, yeah, I dated all of them and I broke up with them because of it. Because I was like, what the fuck? Bruh. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I've heard some stories, dude. It's like, what the fuck, man? And low key, bro, I swear to God, 90% of the time, a blonde. There's, I think, one story what I heard it was like, a brunette or something like that, or a black hair chick or something like that. There was one time where it was not a blonde, but beyond that, dude, it was always a blonde chick. What is wrong with us blondes, man? I'm blonde. I'm a dirty blonde motherfucker, but like, I ain't that dirty. You know what I mean? It's like, goddamn, bro. I'll cuddle with my dog. I'll like, in bed. I'll be like, come here, you sweet boy. Snuggles. And just like go back and take a nap. And he's like, stretches and just goes back to sleep himself. It's like, I'll do stuff like that because he's just my little sweet boy and I love him. And also, especially as winter's coming up, he's a little blanket warmer, so it's like a little warm, cuddly, sweet thing, especially when he's sleepy as shit and it's easy to just stretch him over to me. But, and also like the cute little smooshes and be like, he's a sweet boy. Like I always do. Like I'll hold him here on my lap like a little baby, be like, you sweet boy. I do it all the time, There's nothing wrong with that. But, man, dude, you honestly want to know where I think is, like, borderline, like, literally, like, you're on that tightrope fence? And also, this is literally suburbanite white women, I swear to God. Like, when they got, like, a little chihuahua or, like, a, Yorkie or something like that, or some shit, like a little mini dog, like one of those little, like, purse dogs, and they're like, oh, you're so cute, and they just let them literally eat out their mouth. That is literally like you're on a tightrope, my friend. Like you're literally like, 2 steps away from going into bedroom and just letting that dog go down to town. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, that is literally where I'm starting to question where your interests lie. It's like, it's because look, I'll give my little dog a little like, he gives me a little like, gives me a quick little lick. But whatever, it's like I said, that's kind of, whatever. But when it's like, and your dog's like straight up tongue in that shit. It's like, yo, what in the fuck is going on? It's like, bruh, like one little like, like or something like that, while you're just like, oh, you sweet little boy. It's like, then whatever, who cares? But like, some of these suburbanite white women, bro. What the fuck, man? Like, straight up. Because am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. Really hope with this whole women refuse to date man thing, these women dark stories don't skyrocket. Well, I have a weird feeling that they probably will. I'm sorry, man, but if you go on Reddit and you go on one of those subreddits where it's like people just kind of like spill out their shit, when it comes to like their like, what's something that you would never tell anybody, but you've done or whatever, like one like Ask Reddit or some shit, like r/Ask Reddit or whatever. It's like one of those ones, but the question's like, what's the most degenerate or fucked up thing you've done since 2024 or after you broke up with somebody? Dude, the next 4 years, I guarantee you those stories are going to skyrocket. I'm not going to be surprised, man. Because if so, bro, dude, honestly, every minority and everyone who's not white has literally every right to be racist beyond recognition to white people. I'll just say it. I'm going to say it. For all white people, I don't care if the rest of white folk agree or not, because honestly, 90% of them probably not, because we're fucking yokel hillbillies. But for the 10% that are normal or rational, we're going to be like, yo, it's okay. We're fucked up. We're weird. We're kind of a little psycho, okay? Like, we're sorry, but, hey, this recompense, just make fun of us for now until at least the next millennium or something. I don't fucking know. At least enough until, there's enough of a blend of the races to where like white, black, brown like aren't really a thing. Like the South Park thing, where we're basically literally like a weird like tannish purple or something. I don't know, something like that. Until then, they got every right, all of them, every single one. I'm okay with it. I'll even take some of the brunt. I'll just be like, yo, you don't have to necessarily blame me. I'll take the brunt, but you know what? I'm gonna be a bit sexist. All the time to women say, men are pigs. They're the only things. We ain't the only ones fucking around the thrust tango over for over. Yeah, no shit. Because there are, dude. Because men got their own version of this. Like farmers and like cattle ranchers and shit. You want to know a common like basically the dog pills white suburbanite blonde woman. Like you want to know the version of that for like rural ranchers and shit. It's getting sucked off by a cow, basically. Like putting like a little like weird cattle milk powder stuff. Horses. Like if you have a mare, yep. Just the right height, no bucket required. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I probably just disenlightened you with some information. But look, yeah, I heard about the cow things, dude. You would be surprised what some farmers out there that are into, okay? I've heard some things. Like I said, can be, bro. Because that's literally like where the world starts in the fucking like suburbanized / like, you kind of get into the Portland metro. That's like where it began. World starts, and the urban shit, like metro Portland area ends. Like, because it's out there a little bit. So you hear some stories. Okay, white people, can we just stop, please? Like, yeah, I know, man. I know, bro. And look, I'm a furry and I'm into some wild shit myself, but at least it's all mostly in the fantasy unless someone's wearing a fursuit or some shit, okay? At least mine is basically in the realm of that shit, okay? Like, fuck me, bro. Like, goddamn, I ain't trying to go for the real deal because, like, goddamn, bro. And also, wouldn't that, like, depending on, especially if it's like a horse or like a cattle, like a cow or something, like, wouldn't that be potentially life-threatening if you think about it? I mean, Mr. Hands for one, but that's with a stallion. I don't even talk about like a female, horse or, cow or whatever. But like, even then, what if they're like, what are you doing? And then just fucking, boom, do the fucking kick, dude. It's like trying to get kicked to the chest or the head and literally die. I don't know, man. I want fucks with that. I ain't fucks with that. Because white people, bro. Then a lot of the people like gay marriage really is an abomination. Dude, you want to know why a lot of these, especially pastors, will talk about, oh, they legalized, especially back in the day. Oh, first they're going to legalize gay marriage. The next thing, they're going to allow us to marry dogs and horses. Why do you think that's the first thing they start bringing up? Probably because they're into it. Or probably have done it and they like it. Exactly. Yeah. Man, how do we get into these topics? These topics, bro. We go into some wild and frankly, sometimes some very degenerate shit. And I also noticed that we keep popping up and down with the view count because every time like someone pops in, we were talking about this. They're like, "What the fuck?" Scroll, skippity scroll. Oh my god, bro. How's this not the worst thing we've discussed? I know. That's honestly the wild thing too. This is not even the worst degenerate shit we've talked about either. I mean, honestly. Because honestly, as really as fucked this sounds, like some weird yokel farmer like doinking their mare, or like, you know, some weird white suburbanite blonde, you know, porking it with their fucking family dog. I mean, that ain't the worst thing in the world for humanity. As fucked as it sounds, that literally isn't. Because, dude, let's just be frank, there are legit some worse fucking shit out there in the world that's way more fucked up and way more like just bleh. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. There just is. I mean, it's like the spectrum of repulsive things that our species has done, especially, you know, with social media in modern times, of cameras and everything, and people that will even document this shit. Oh, dude. Bro. It's like, we are a fucked species if you really break it down. And I love this species. And that's the weird thing. That's the duality of a man right there. That is truly the duality of man. Knowing how horrible and fucked and how much you kind of hate this species, but at the same time really being able to love it at the same time due to its productive and impactful and innovative ways and new provoking thoughts. Like, it's just, that's what's fucked about us. It's like, that's truly the duality of man right there. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, bro. Somehow got it, you know, deep and philosophical with it, but you know what? Hey, it's just like fucking, you know, it's like Private Joker, bro. Born to kill, but he got that pacifist fucking, you know, pin on your, you know, on your flat jacket, bro. What type of big coat common weird shit on this? Are you even an American? I love that scene. But yeah, I'll be right back. That little business barrel, I'll tell you what. Ugh. While I'm doing that, I'm also giving this dog a little bit of bun. Want these buns? Well, you only have a single bun. Oh, now you want it. You didn't want it earlier. So good, like anything was possible. It cruise control, but my eye. The last 3 days, it was always cold. The sunshine, I ran down a dream. You never would come to me. Working on a mystery, going wherever you lead. This cat you die. I put the pen down to make some time. There's something good waiting down this road. I'm picking up whatever is mine. I'm running down the dreams, and you never will come clean. Cooking on a mystery, going wherever it leads. Little Bean, where are you going? Come here. Oh, look at that little tail. Oh, my goodness. Ugh. Little Bean. Well, he's so soft. They gave him a bath last night, and he's just such a softie. you sweet little soft boy. You're just so soft. Oh, this little thing. You're just a little thing. Oh, him just hugging me. Look at that. I just love how he just hugs my arm. It's just so cute. Oh. Oh, what? Smooch. Oh. Oh, this baby. Oh, you got my hair in your face. You goofy thing. Look at you. You're such a goof. It's not the star of the show. You are the star now. I don't care about that. Me. You're the star now, sir. Say your piece. Say your revolutionary takes to the world. You're very silent. Nothing. You don't even want to say a word. Wow. This is goofy bang. Oh my god. The fact that cheek smooshes that much is absurd. Oh my god. God. Meh. Give you a good old squeeze. Apparently Jesus has siblings. God damn it, this complicates thing. Man, fuck the Bible. True. I was just doing research, and according to scripture, Mary and Jesus, I think, had a total of 7 children, including Jesus. From what I've glimpsed, it only seems like the Catholic Church is upholding that Mary was a perpetual virgin. Huh. So God basically impregnated her 7 different times. Hey, get that fucking foot off. Ugh! You bean! You bean! You gabanzo bean! This little bean, the garbanzo bean, is a little stretchy string bean. Oh my lord. Only Jesus is God's child, and the rest of her are conceived the normal way. So how do Catholics justify her being perpetual virgin? Was she just magically, like, asexually reproduced with herself or something? He just grunts. He's like, denied that they had other children. Well, most Christians do, too, to be fair. Oh my god. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. You grunt, mum boy. Oh my lord, he's he's hugging my arm again. Oh, you're straight by him. He's such a goofy little thing. Oh my lord. What are we doing? What are we doing here? He's such a goofy Bane. What? I don't get this. Like, he always loves to hug my little arm. He's just like, meh. He's a little squirm. This is like the one dog that does not give an iota of a fuck about being a little drum. He just likes to squirm around, try to find a different comfortable position. He's just all tense up, just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Daddy. Ah. Ooh, can we get a little paw going? Can we get you kicking the feet? Oh, kicking the feet. Ooh, he's kicking the feet. He's a kicking the feet. Kicking the feet. Kicking the feet. Kicking those feet. Kicking those feet. Kicking those feet. Look at him kick those feet. Oh my goodness. Kicking the feet. That's a good boy. Kicking those feet. Oh, you little bean. Hey, careful. Don't be a bad boy after being a good boy. Ugh. Hey. Well, look what you're doing. Oh. There you go. This little Bane, he's just like, what the fuck? So what the fuck, Dad? Oh my lord. Oh my god. Oh. This ragdoll, dude. He's like, alright, I'm gonna be a corpse now. What? Just dies. What is this, dude? The fuck? Oh, can I even show this? Like, look at him. Look at this. This is absurd. Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, hi. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm judging you, sir. I am judging you. And you don't even give a fuck. You're just like, yeah, what's up? Look at him. You know, yeah. Oh, now you want to fight, huh? That was pathetic. Fight me, warrior. Unleash the wolf. Unleash the wolf. What? Unleash the wolf. This is not the wolf. Unleash. Come on, buy my hand. This is so pathetic. You have no warrior in you. You're not built of a warrior. You're not built of the wolf. You're built of that, of a pathetic little June bug that I could just squish. It's such a little moany groany bro, Oh my god. Goofball. Not built with the warrior at all, bro. He just went, such a derp. See, I've told you, like, I mean, I've tried to, like, prod it out of him a little bit, and just nothing. He's like, I don't know what to do about this. Oh. I'm just gonna groan and squirm like a nut. Goofball. Hey, what's up, Harley? I'm trying to see if I should do the Catholic angle, or just give it to the Baron Justice if I only have one child, or try to work in the siblings somehow. Because keep in mind, according to the scripture, they have several children. Granted, the daughters aren't mentioned by name. Well, 7 deadly sins, 7 other children. Make them symbolic to maybe the different deadly sins. I suppose if you can, like, look into, like, you know, their backgrounds, like, you know, see if there's any, you know, stories or anything related to who they might have been. And if not, then, hey, you know, you got creative will, dude. But honestly, if there are some daughters that aren't even mentioned by name, you got creative will right there. Just, like, you know, look up some different names that would have been common for the time, you know, during the era, you know, of Jesus, and there you go. Just look up some female, you know, names, you know, during that era, and just find some common names that, you know, or something like that. There you go. Boom. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, weirdly enough, if there's a lot of vagaries, you know, you actually might have a lot of creative, you know, will to do kind of whatever the fuck you want with it. But there's just not a whole lot to go on, or it doesn't seem like they follow Jesus in some way, may have ended up as religious leaders. Well, see what comes up. I mean, honestly, dude, it sounds like you're deep diving hella, dude. Honestly, you can maybe go and ask Reddit, like, hey, I'm doing this thing, and I want to find, like, some information, you know, about, like, you know, these particular characters and this and that or whatever. Or maybe, honestly, if there's, like, a Christian subreddit, I'm sure if you went there innocently enough, being like, hey, I'm just doing a horror-based, you know, story, and I'm just kind of curious about, you know, like, you know, these potential, you know, characters or whatever, you know, religious opinions about it aside, you know, I'm just kind of curious if there's anything known about them, and if there is, what is there? I probably could. I don't think they'd take the horror angel well, or the horror angle well. Well, yeah, maybe not that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can at least go to, like, a Christian subreddit and just ask about that without having to talk about that in the first place. Just be like, I've heard, you could be like, hey, I heard there's, you know, have like a subreddit where it says, hey, I've heard about, you know, Jesus having, you know, other siblings, you know, what do y'all know about that? You know, blah, blah, blah. And you don't even really have to tell them that you're making a story out of it. Now that I think about it, and why do I feel like that might be Logan showing up? Sukov is boofing, so that makes me think. It's either that's Logan. That's Logan. All right, hold on. Is that Logan? Or is that a neighbor? I can't even fucking know anymore at this point because who fucking knows? Like, Logo will literally just show up out of nowhere sometimes. I should have the gate closed, so if he did show up, I would hear that open up. I like how you start speaking your revolutionary rhetoric while you're off camera. You don't want your fucking face known to the words that you say, sir. I see how it is. Yeah, don't look at me like that. Little Bane. What a goof. Man, son of a bitch. Thanks, little cloud. But gotta do a little weed surgery. Whole that hit was pathetic, and I disagree with what I just had to deal with as a result. And I'm just like, hell no. I like how Harley popped in for like a second and then he just like dipped off. I said, hey, and he said, I'm back. Boo. Granted, it was probably like, maybe a minute or two before I noticed, but I don't, it's like, bad. He has a package that he was supposedly supposed to pick up today. And I still have it, and it's like, bro. It's like, my guy. Low-key, the boys have been kind of slacking a little on this. Like when they're like, yeah, I'll come by today, blah, 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 or we'll hang out later after work. Blah, blah. It's like, look, I can actually excuse because I didn't follow up with him about that, but I was just like, bruh, you know you have one. You've told me when you're showing up, and you bruh. It's like, dude. Like I said, at least excuse Logan, but with his ass, like, bruh. You said. Motherfucker. What? What are you looking at like that for? You want this other bun? Is that what you want? You want this? Those ears perked up so much after that. Oh my lord. He's where? Chair. Oh, good boy. Chair. Up, all the way. That's not being up on the chair, bro. Chair. Good boy. Oh, you sweet Bane. You sweet little Bane. He's right. He's literally like right above you guys. So adorable. Hey, hold on. I want to show you off. This is so cute. Oh, god damn it. Oh, there we go. Oh, the Bane. Schlump. The Bane. Look, you lazy little thing. He was like, I guess I dropped some stuff. Paw? Oh, hey, buddy. You got a little leftover right here. Zukov, you got a little leftovers. Hey, buddy, you have leftovers. You dolt. Excuse me, you're sniffing the wrong space. Yeah, there. Yeah, that. There you go. Damn. It took that. Really? Seriously? My guy. My dude. My guy. You fucking absurd little thing. This little face. Jesus Christ, it makes me melt, dude. Oh, that face. Oh my god. Paw? Oh, careful. Ew. Oh, there's like some slime on that one, bro. Oh, there's like, but what's that? What's that, brother? Brother, don't do that again. Here, Jesus. Maybe Bing Google are fucking with me because I've been looking at the virtual Bible site, and the Greek word for brothers and sisters could also refer to believers. When I'm saying fuck, I'm tired. Damn. Well, yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a little nippy. Yeah, actually, I'm a decent amount. Not as long as I thought it'd be, but yeah, a decent little amount. Decent little time, too. Cool. I'll still keep going for a little bit, but I'm definitely thinking about that spaghetti chicken, Parmesan Reggiano, though. Oh, that's, dude. It's like it's kind of the American way, because, hey, fortunately, we're not in Italy, so we don't got to worry about that shit, but, bro, it's going to be fire as fuck, dude. And actually, this is the first time with this salsa, or not even salsa. Oh my god, Italians would fucking take a fucking mafia hit on me on that one. But this, like, pasta sauce right here. This first time trying this. It's garden vegetable because it's got tomato, diced tomatoes and tomato puree, some diced zucchini, carrots, and some onion and garlic, with a little bit of soybean oil apparently, and some sugar, salt, and some vinegar, and a little hodgepodge of spices. But I also have my own spices, so little bit of this. And hey, what are you doing? Excuse me. A little bit of that, some of my spice, little Parmesan Reggiano, a little bit of that chicken, plus a little bit of breading on it too. It's gonna help thicken the pasta a little bit and sauce, all that shit. Man, I cannot wait to fucking smack down on that dank. I'm gonna need a bigger pot though, because the pot I've been using last time I made a little bit of pasta with that shit, like it damn near overflowed. I'm just like, damn, I need a bigger dish. Because of all the pasta that I want on top of what I'm eating, I'm just like, bro, I'm just like, I need a bigger pot. So, but okay, now my stomach grumbling now because I'm just like, god damn, that just sounds fire beyond recognition. So you know what? I'm going to do the 3 strikes around. I'm going to do like 3 little power bowls and call it good, which includes, grind out a little more. So, 10-minute mark about. 2 hour, 20-minute mark pretty much, for all types of purposes, rounding it up a little bit, perfect time. Perfect timing right there, I'd say. Because by that time, I'm going to be like ground control to Major Tom, munchie mode, stomach a bubbling. Perfect for, the spice blend. Oh, especially because, honestly, I don't know what it is about being a stoner, but, dude, when you get the munchies on top of all that, dude, flavors just, like, accelerate in a way. I don't know what that is, but, dude. And also, my store finally restocked on these bad boys over here. Made in Mexico. It's like, dude, this shit is fire as fuck, bro. If you ever find this, do yourself a favor. I mean, I'm just saying, do yourself a favor. If you ever find this, get yourself a bottle or 2. Because they got this in orange, and they got it in lime, too. I'm sure they got other flavors, but I've been enlightened. Because Mexico, they're producing shit that's way better than fucking Fanta or anything else. Because this does kind of taste like a Fanta, but nowhere near sugary. Like, this is straight up made, like, in Mexico, and bruh. Peñafiel, dude. Fucking. It's some dank, delicious amazingness for a drink. And the crazy thing is, it's a mineral water. It's not even like a soda or anything. It's a mineral water. So that's even better. It's not even a fucking soda. So that's why it doesn't have so much sugar in it. And that's why it tastes better. because it's more flavorful instead of all sugary and shit. And plus, it does have that like, caramel garbage and whatever. Oh, dude, it's better. And plus, the plastic on it is thinner. Like, because once I open this up, it's like squishy. Like, here, I should just crack this open right now. Like, dude, it's very squishy. Squish, 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 squish. It's very squishy in comparison to other plastics. Like, you know, if you have a plastic Coca-Cola bottle, like if you ever find one of these, grab one of these and then grab like a Coca-Cola bottle or something like that. Sort of God, bro, the plastic's thinner on this, and thus means less microplastics and all that other bullshit. And they're using less plastic to produce the bottles. I mean, it's like, dude, they kind of got some shit on point down there. I'm just like, damn. If I were ever to get citizenship, low-key, I probably would go to Mexico. Plus, our dollar goes a long way down there, too. So even if I saved up, like, you know, $50K or some shit, or, you know, whatever the fuck, dude, that would make me basically a borderline, like, you know, upper middle class kind of person. Like, I can easily buy land out there and do whatever, basically. Obviously, I want to find, like, an area where it's chill. Maybe I'll, like, you know, hang out in the region where the Zapadistas are and just, like, you know, vibe with them and all that shit. You know, because then I know that, you know, as long as I'm chill with them, they're chill with me, and they got my back and I got theirs kind of thing. Plus, you know, could probably find a way to use my 2A to get down there via coyotes. Allegedly. Not saying, you know, that would ever happen. Because honestly, the chance of me, like, living down there in Mexico and getting citizenship there is kind of like a million or like 10 million to 1. Like, chances are that ain't happening. Plus, I like Oregon enough. I'd rather stay here. Rather hedge my bets here. Even if things aren't as great, you know, beyond all that, you know, but whatever, you know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? And I noticed he also did go on a rant. Blah, blah, blah. Because the reason I'm super confused now, I know the Bible being confusing. Stop the presses. I know, right? Is that the people he appointed match his siblings' names. So his sibling is just a familiar term in his instance over Jesus' disciples actually related to him. Fucking hate this book, ignore. Hey, I do too. That's why I'm not Christian anymore. It's because they were so restricted about additives, but go on about regulation. Well, also another thing is, it's like, when it comes to like the Zukov, I mean, when it comes to Christianity, like, it's like, dude, Zukov. Oh my God. This has to be one of my neighbors, I'm assuming. I'm just gonna let him boof. I'm gonna let him speak his revolution. I'm gonna let him seize the means of the boofduction, dude. The bark production. The pro-bark production, dude. Mexico, not the Bible. It's because they're restricted about additives. Well, yeah. Well, I knew about that. That's why I kind of, you know, went back to what you were, you know, saying about everything else. Because, I mean, I kind of knew that's what we were talking about with that. I just kind of wanted to add on to what I was, you know, putting the pin on. Zukov! Shut up! But yeah, like, what the fuck was I about to say? Oh, like, I mean, when it comes to, like, the Bible, it's been misinterpreted so many times over the years since its first, like, production of it being a book, that it's kind of hard to really say what's what, because it's so easily deciphered and translated one way or this way or that way and cherry pick. It's one of those things where it's literally like a pick your own adventure book, basically, when it comes to Christianity and the Bible. Ultimately, like, I got the paraphrase Bible, and I think that's based off of the Gideon's version of the Bible. And it just happens, the paraphrase version happens to have Jesus's, you know, quotes and shit like that in red versus everything else. That's the main difference. But it's based off the Gideon's Bible, which is definitely, I guess, better than, you know, like a Bible like, you know, the New King James Version, which is literally based off of like, the monarchy and King James himself, hence the name of it, so it all just kind of varies. And that's the shitty thing about it. There's no one real true interpretation anymore. Especially with the different iterations of Christianity. You got the East Orthodox, the Catholics, the Christians, and, the subsects of them. From Mormons to the Amish, and you got all sorts of different subsects even from them, So, you got a lot of fucking different groups of Christianity that's out there. And a lot of them are in conflict with each other. I mean, the Protestants, the Catholics literally had a 30 years war in Europe, the 1618 to 1648 over this shit. Over religion. Literally on the virtue on how they believed in their God. And literally a third of the German populace was left over after those 30 years. 2/3 of the German population at that time, during that 30 years war was wiped the fuck out. Because not just of the war itself, but because of banditry, plagues, famine, all sorts of shit. Because obviously all the kingdoms and everything else, were invested into the war efforts and shit and didn't give a fuck about their people. And all of Europe especially suffered for it. To the point where, especially in the last decade or so, it literally just became like a meaningless war. It was just a way to kind of justify like vindictive bullshit, land grabs, and everything else in between. It didn't mean shit at a certain point. Like in that war, you could have had a father have grown up and become an adult and have served in the same war that your fucking dad did. Like, so literally some shit that happened like in Afghanistan with America. Like, there was people that grew up, had, parents that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then their kids served in the same fucking fronts and served in the same countries and the same fucking wars. It was the same shit then. It was hard to believe in a lot of instances, but in large families were expected back then. It would make a lot of sense for Americans to have lots of children. Oh, yeah, because it was a normal thing, because a lot of children never survived past, like, toddler age. Dude, I mean, in my family, like, book thing, at least on my dad's side, I mean, dude, at a certain point, there's a lot of children, and a lot of them don't last past 5. Some of them do, and some of them die at an early age, like at young adult era and status and shit, but that just depends. That always depends on the era and shit, because I can kind of like tie that into maybe like a conflict, or maybe they were expanding in, territory and maybe, manifest destiny shit and got killed by some natives or something. Who fucking knows? I don't know all the details of every fucking name in that book, but, like a lot of them probably died at birth or died, before they even got a year old. There's a lot of people in there that are literally like, 1859, 1868, blah, blah, blah. And literally it's that year and that's it. And there's also off chance maybe it's just that their records are lost at a certain point because they just like left the family, did their own thing, and just lost contact. There's a chance for that, and they just lost details of them since. But considering especially how thorough that at least on my dad's side, family went to find all these records going back to the fucking colony eras, where I could trace my shit back to William Dawes, who fucking wrote of Paul Revere, at least as one of the 5 like writers, letting the colonies know like, hey, the British we're at war now kind of shit. That's kind of fucking wild. It's like, what? Whoa. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of thorough background about our records of shit, but it's like, so I figured that it can't be the case unless there's some oddball circumstance, I suppose, but I doubt it. It had to be because they just never lived past age 1. It made sense for, parents back then to fuck a lot, literally on the virtue of just having as many kids as possible, because chances are the kid that you're going to have now ain't going to last past 1. They ain't going to last past the age of 1. I mean, as time moved forward, I noticed that, like, how many children are there or less and less, and how long they last as people are longer and longer as time goes on. But when it's like in that 1860s, 70s era, 1880s era, and in the past, going back, like there's a lot of like children, but like a good, like I would say at worst it's about like half of them don't make it past the age of one, and at best a third of them, like dead ass. Larry to Bob, William Dawes. That's who I'm related to familial wise on my dad's side. One of the guys that wrote of Paul Revere. Well, not literally, but rode as one of the 5 guys sending a message down the line to the colonies and shit like that. Because it's not just Paul Revere. There's like 4 other dudes, and William Dawes is one of them. And also one of his relatives, Charles Dawes, Charles William Dawes, served in the Civil War. And dude, the trip that he had as a infantry officer, as a lieutenant, or no, not a lieutenant, but as a sergeant, bro. Fucking drip, bro. The drip. And dude, in his later age, dude, his beard, bruh. I kind of want to pull it out right now, but I just don't want to go for the effort of having to open up this fucking drawer because it's kind of a pain in the ass. But that means they're kind of related to the badass Paul Revere, the Last Sounds of Courage fame. Maybe. I'll have to double check and look at the. Well, man, now you're really tempting me, damn it. I'm having like, my last little 3 balls and then, fucking, making my foo-foo. Like, you know what? We'll put a pin on it. Next time, I start talking about like, family background shit or some shit like that, try to remind me if you remember. Because I don't want to do it right now. It'd be too much effort. That's all right. Let's get that second bowl going. At some point doing that, that'll be better. Don't got a ration for your wisdom, bitch. Fuck you. Man, I kind of wonder, like, what, some of my relatives are on the, my mom's side, because I only really know of one. Because I do know one of my family members on my mom's side is kind of keeping some records, of our, like, family lineage on my mom's side, at least. I do know I'm related to one of the King Richards. I forgot if it was, like, King Richard the 12th or King Richard the 3rd. But there was like there's one of the King Richards that this actually does kind of fall in tandem with a potential like possibility of this being genuine, like, fact too, because I know one of those two had like a few mistresses on the side, and a few of them were also within noble families, and it's like over time, essentially some of those families also did partake in different colonies, at least in southern colonies, like in the Carolinas and shit like that did come over here. So there is possibility that there is a direct line between one of them motherfuckers, between one of like the noble families, because King Richard liked to get around a little bit, and considering his name. You know what I mean? It's like, And it was back during, like, well before, like, the Americas were discovered. So, like, one of these King Richards would probably, like, one of them, I think the 3rd was during, like, the 1000s. And then the 12th was, I think, during, like, the 1300s or something like that. So, I mean, definitely not, during the times of the Americas. But honestly, if one of the families that, if I can think correctly, if I understand it right, comes from him a little bit, depending on which one it is. It was probably the one who's closer to when the Americas were discovered and then England started, expanding their shit. I would guess. But I need to talk to my family in the South about that. Be like, yo, hey, I actually kind of want to know about my background, on this, because I know about my dad's side, but I don't know jack shit. Like, I kind of actually, like, want to know. And if so, is there a way to copy, like, a family booklet thing, even if it's thick and huge as fuck or whatever? Like, can you give me, like, a copy of the records and just mail it to me or ship it to me or something? Because I would actually be very interested in having that. Because I don't know who. I forgot exactly who it was. I remember my mom telling me who it was, but that was years ago. But I forgot who it was. But like, if I can at least ask who that is, or at least one of my family members that that knows them, just make a copy and maybe ship it to me, that'd be fucking dope. Because also, I've always wanted to have this question answered in my mind. Do I have family members, ancestrally on my mom's side that fought in the Confederacy? I just want that question answered. Honestly, not really, because, like, I got both sides, family that fought in the Civil War, but not because of that, but because, like, I want to know if they fought in the same battles. Did my ancestors, am I one of those Americans where both sides of my, family tree line, fucking fought, in Civil War against each other, probably directly? Because if so, that would be fucking wild, dude. That would be legit kind of cool to know, but also kind of wild. And also, I would kind of want to know about what, like, the family members were like, at least on the Confederacy side of things, because, like, were they, like, we're just doing it because we're conscripted to it or some shit, or were they like, oh, yeah, hell yeah? Like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to know about that a little bit. I'll say this, at least my family today, they probably are not, hardcore and big about, what that was about, and shit. Especially from my kid, even from my more, like, Trumpy family members. But, I mean, I'm sure they'll be like, well, they treated them pretty fair for what it could look like. I'm sure they probably have their excuse because, hey, well, they were from the family. I don't fucking know. I hope not, but I don't know. I have a Queen's doctor in my family, which must have been super easy back then. Sir, Jean, the Queen is sick. Leeches. The Queen has been a headache. The Queen has a headache. Leeches, get the leeches. The servant is about to mention something else, but he stops. Leeches? Leeches. Yep, exactly. Leeches. God, that dog is such an emo boy. Alright. One more little Tokaroni. I was also searching if the article I'm looking at of it is the same guy. Shit. Isn't it kind of cool that we can all, like, look at ancestors, that are, maybe might or might not be distant relatives, over, like, tree lines where it's like they got Wikipedia pages, or articles, that kind of discuss their history and what they've done and shit like that. Because, dude, like, Paul's got that. He literally has a wiki page of one of his ancestors of the McPherson family that killed a bunch of, like, British government agents and shit. Like a fucking Irish, Scottish, fucking rebellious revolutionary fuck, dude. It's like, damn, bro. I remember he told it on a Hideology, or not even Hideology. I think it was actually on one of the late night streams that he was doing with Ben or some shit. Or maybe it might have been with Tisha. I don't even remember. If I remember where it is, once I finally get the SIM card bullshit, figured out, dude, we're going to have to do some reacts because, dude, I'll not to be a dead horse, but dude, the fact that the current phone I'm using does not have the fucking little SIM card plate holder thingamabob with the pinhole thing, so I can just yank it out. I hate it. I hate it. It's bunk, and I hate it. But whatever. I know at least apparently my dad has one, but it's apparently on the floor somewhere because his cat went psycho mode and launched it and yeet the fucking bowl that it was in. So I'm gonna have to try to look for it at some point, and I'll do that too. And be like, no, hey. Actually, I might do that while I'm like waiting for my pasta to like, you know, be ready. Be like, hey, I'm gonna squeeze in here and look for that little key thing so I can deal with this. So tomorrow we can react to some shit. I'm also reading John was a diplomat. Wouldn't it be wild if we found out Paul's ancestors assassinated some of mine? Dude, that would be actually kind of fucking wild, dude. Like one of his ancestors, you know, that was like more related to the crown. Dude, that would be insane, man. That's also kind of making me think, what if like, you know, one of your ancestors maybe like, you know, was with one of mine potentially, you know, or something, dude, because I do got some of that Anglo-Saxon British fucking ancestry. At least some of it where it's at least, you know, based in royalty, at least a little bit. Not that I give a fuck about it, but it's just one of those things that it is a part of my background. So maybe there was like, maybe like the, you know, King Richard family, you know, didn't become like a very strong, you know, dynasty as kings, you know, or whatever. But at least when it came to like, you know, as nobles, you know, we're probably still around for a while. So I don't fucking know. I haven't read that much history on it all. I just kind of read on, like, you know, knowing that it was, like, one of the King Richards, and I think it was the 12th. You know, if I remember correctly. But, like I said, I need to kind of confirm that with my mom's side of the family, because I know they're the ones who know about it. Man, family trees are kind of fucking weird if you think about it. Because, like, dude, it kind of shows how small the world really is. You know what I mean? Because, dude, there's like some weird shit about that. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's something wild about that where it's like, oh shit, you find out like you're a very distant relative to someone that you're like related to, or like now and are friends with, or maybe like you watch as a consecrator, this and that, or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? You know, like there'll just be some wild shit like that. Or like the chance that like ancestors of like, because I'm pretty sure maybe like McPherson, you know, of you know, TJ's ancestor who fought in Civil War, who also kind of looks like him too. Like he, I'm pretty sure he fought in similar at least one or two battles that also one of my ancestors, Charles William Dawes, like he fought in. Like so, it's kind of wild to think about shit like that. It's like, whoa, dude. It kind of shows that like the world is kind of legit smaller than people kind of think sometimes a little bit. Our ancestors were connected once. Our families have been distant, but now they've reconnected again. In one way, shape, or form. You know what? I'm gonna restart the song because the song is lit as fuck. Boom, boom. Hey. Did you steal a UFO? Because I stole a UFO. Show up to me with a revenge mask. Thy family shall be avenged! The blood feud shall continue! Some fucking Hatfield McCoy ass shit right there. This blood field between our families shall continue. Fuck you, you bastard! Then low beard Paul. Oh, he has been low bearded once. You know, if they ever do a West Coast meetup, one, I hope it's in Portland, and two, I won't even low beard Paul. If I do, it'll be like with some dank ass salsa, some dankness, like a burrito. I would just low beard him with like some amazing fucking food. I'd be like, yo, just accept this food. because we make thinkness out here. Also, I'll just like give him like a shitload of weed because I know he would just basically drive up here. So I'd be like, yo, here's like a bunch of fucking dank ass weed, some of that little brother, the mini Cali gas. Actually, there's validation for Paul about that, and fuck you guys, I was right. Validation for me too, because like Paul literally, because someone said, what about Oregon weed or Washington weed? Because he was going off about like how bunk ass the rest of the country's weed is, which is true, but but like he was mentioning it's like, oh well, they're literally it's just like Cali, little mini Cali, and then Cali Junior. Okay, like they're just based, like when I say Cali gas, I mean Oregon, Washington are basically included. Like they're basically just like mini Calis. Okay, like they're included in this. We don't really mention them because they're part. They're basically wannabe us. I was like, okay, wannabe, but you know what? I accept it, and it confirms what I fucking said, dude. Oregon is like the little brother of California, and then like Washington's like the little nephew of California or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. I knew that shit. I knew it. Called it, and Paul not the other day on one of his ideologies fucking confirmed it. I was like, it just made me feel. It got butterflies. I was like, nice. I knew it. Because, bro, West Coast, West Coast, we got the gas, dude. We just got the gas, dude. I get the cheap shit. Dude, the shit I got right now, right in here, this gelato candy and this fucking El Chivo, dude, that's the cheapest, like, lowest tier, shit that I got. And it's still fucking dank-ass gas, bro. The dankest of the gas, all right? Straight up. Like, it's amazing. Like, the cheapest shit around here is, like, the dankest of weed that you'll get anywhere else in this country. Just saying. Sorry to say. It's just truth. What the hell did you put in my beard? Nothing you need to worry about. Relax. Okay, cool. It's just spider. What? Oh, by the way, yo, Rose. Did you see Paul's new, his new look? He shaved some of his beard. He shaved some of it, dude. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love the shit out of it. At first, I was shocked and I wasn't sure how to feel about it, but within like an hour or so, I was like, this is warming up on me, and actually, I kind of like it. You know what? It fits the fuck out of him. And you know what? He was worried about what's going on right here. This, yeah, pretty cool. Dude, I still need to give him, like, a cavalry hat or something. You know what? If there's confirmation that there's an, P&W meetup, either in Portland, hope in Portland. But if not, Seattle, I could take a train up there or maybe get a ride or whatever, hey, Seattle's okay. Then I'll be like, yo, I'm going to get a hat, like a Stetson hat like I have, specifically for his pea coat and for that fucking beard style, and I'm going to personally customize it myself. I'm also going to collect feathers, all that shit. I'll even give some of my feathers on my hat and put it on there. At least the good ones. And be like, here, I want you to have this. Look like a good fucking, like, respected cavalry officer with that peacoat, sir, because, you look badass with that, especially with the long hair that he's got going. Dude, you cannot tell me he would look like a badass motherfucker. And in the style that I have my hat in. The side, bloop, up right here. Plumes and feathers on the other side. You can't tell me, man, that will not be badass, because it would totally be badass. Especially on Paul, bro. I'll just make sure the hat is like an extra size bigger than my head, because I imagine his head is probably bigger than mine. Not by much, but a little bit. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Oh, man. My brother gave me the hat, so I kind of low-key hate to do it, but dude, my brother gave me a hat that's like literally half an inch or a quarter inch old too big on my head, circumference-wise. And I could low-key customize that for Paul, but I probably wouldn't be able to do like the, side, brim thing though. I mean, maybe I could. I have to look at the hat. Beyond that, I could just buy one. And I know there's actually straight up like a few hat shops in Portland. I'll just go check out those fucking places. Speaking of which, I need to kind of, I'm kind of feeling a new hat a little bit. Not that I want to retire my punk hat, but it's like I also kind of want to like only really have that for certain occasions at this point, because some of the pins are starting to kind of low-key want to fly away, and I'm just like, I don't want that. So I'm kind of feeling like, I want to wear that for maybe certain occasions and kind of like at least have enough diversity of hats to where I could just kind of wear whatever. I have a lot of hats, but a lot of them just don't fit with what I got now. So I want to find like, one or two other hats, that I can like add, and all that shit. Because, I mean, this bad boy is meant for a lot of shit, but I've had to replace the fucking backs of these fucking pins, like these things, for these pins so often to the point I'm running out. And I don't want to lose these pins because it's kind of a little redonkulous. And I'm just like, all right, well, certain occasions I'm wearing that hat now. I kind of want to find some other hats I can use in the meantime because I don't want to lose all the pins on the hat. That's kind of a special hat. Especially because I got like, some pretty cool pins on there. I mean, my favorite ones are these. Oh, fuck you too. But my favorite ones are these ones. I got Luna from Hellaboss just being kind of like a little sass bitch, and then I got this little bad boy giving her the middle finger. These are my favorite ones. And of course, being the little fur fuck that I am, I mean, of course I'm gonna like those pins, but yeah. I mean, look at my favorite little pins. Little Bane, little street boy. Why is me saying street being a little street boy currently and tip? I don't need to see that ass or your balls. Like, can you not, please? You disgusting fuck. Can you please not do that? Wow. He's refusing. Oh no, okay. Oh no, you turn around. Chair? Oh yeah, be on the chair. Yeah, that's way better. That's way better than what I had to witness. What? What, buddy? Fucking little goober. I'm looking at your month, your fictional clown for your birthday post. I got Arthur Fleck Joker, which I have gotten excited before I saw Joker 2. You got to a C. I don't know who that comes from. I don't know to a C either. But damn. You got Arthur Fleck would have been more exciting if Joker 2 didn't come out. But you could also pretend it never existed. Just pretend it never existed, and there you go. See, you saw it, I didn't. It's easier for me to do that because I don't. Outside of knowing that, yeah, it was a film at one point, I never saw it, so I don't have to worry about it existing. I could just dead ass like forget its thing. TJ has Ronald McDonald. Oh my god, dude! Why am I not surprised he got Ronald McDonald? Damn. Dude, you should, like, super chat that, on Onion Nuggets or something tomorrow and be like, yo, I looked up, like, the clowns, for birthday months, and TJ got Ronald McDonald, I got Arthur Fleck. Find out who Paul gets, because he's April. I forgot what Scotty's birthday month is. I think it's, like, what, March or something? Something like that. March, May, something like that. I forgot what. I think would teacher react if it was his birthday. He opens the front door and Ronald smile at him. I don't even know, dude. Paul gets Pogo the Clown, which oddly fit in more than I think about it. You know what? I think Paul would love that. But what's Scotty's birthday month? Because I think it's like what? Like May or March or something? I think it's that. Fish ball cat. Cat ball fish. Cat ball fish. Fish ball cat. If it's March, Scotty gets a clown from Devil's Rejects. If it's May, he gets Bozo. Well, I honestly don't know if either of those months are his birthday months. Like I said, I just forget. How are you? Pretty good. About to eat up some food after I finish up this last little bowl. I have to make it first, but going in munchie mode. Kind of near the wind down period at this point, but doing pretty good. Pretty good. Got a little food, paid day, all that shit, ready to go. What are fine fickle fuck is going on here?
The big shit right there.
You're the one who replaces it. It's not that hard for you. Oh my god.
Take a couple of steps and get one.
Wrinkles the Clown looks fucking disturbing. Send me a picture. I kind of want to see. I won't worry about like looking at it during the stream. I'll look at it afterwards, but I gotta see. You know, they should have had the clown from the first air button in here. This opportunity. Yeah, that would have been a good one. That would have been an excellent opportunity right there. Oh, you already got one. Nice. Sent. He's under November. Ah. Oh, so that would be Venom. That would be Venom's clown. Because he's a November baby. He's like a little after Thanksgiving. It was kind of polar house from my parents because they fucked around Thanksgiving. Because there's like a website that can like kind of track around the week, you know, that your parents potentially have conceived. And mine was during Thanksgiving week. And I was just like, damn, bro. I was like, all right. Apparently 96 Thanksgiving was a little bit of an extra party time for the parents. So it's my nephew. Nice. All right, I got teased into doing one more bowl. Fuck it. After that, I'll get ready for making my food. Brother was born January, so he gets Art the Cloud. Nice. Respectable. But anyway, I'll let's call it good for now, all intents and purposes. I might do a little afternoon stream, with my homeboy before we do our little Univote thing, which I'm really excited to do. It's gonna be fun and exciting. But beyond that, if not, we'll do like a lunch stream, or if not, we'll just like kick it to the karaoke stream on Friday, when I go to Duffy's. So anyway, all intents and purposes, peace out and toodaloo. And yeah, I guess you are stuck with Arthur Fleck. Just remember, it's the first Joker Arthur Fleck. Don't think about the second one. Wow.